Okay, so here we are playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Cool.
Um, where is Flint?
That's a good point. Where the hell is
The bird ate him.
Flint.
Am I already dead?
Flint's dead.
Rip.
Hold on, I'll bring in a new
Maybe we
Flint.
get a chance to try.
We're gonna bring in a new Flint.
We're gonna find
Flint's
the other one. Be
2.0.
like, oh my god, it's twin.
Yes, it's me, Flaunt Iron Fist.
There he is. There he is, Mr. Flint. Okay.
Hey there,
So who can give me a recap of the last session?
Whoever rolls the highest.
Roll it up.
Well,
20 does it, or 19 does it. 20 gets to pick who does it.
Oh, 13.
I got a 6.
Sarah's doing it.
Great boss, your turn.
Very well. Alright.
Should have picked David.
So.
I'm not even here.
Too fucking bad.
So,
Should have picked Captain.
we started the.
No,
Oh no, poor guy. He doesn't deserve it.
he's sicky.
Alright.
All right.
So, to be fair, drink less. Anyway, the last session started with us still interrogating William after we had a discussion about ourselves about if we were going to spare or not his companions and apprentices. We decided to yes, given that they allow themselves to be subjected to ABOT's vision. They all said yes, fantastic. We kept interrogating William to the point where he was getting so mad at the shit questions that we asked that he was going to be like, I'm just going to tell you what you want to know. So eventually we stopped the interrogation. Carrick went to heal the woman so that she could be subjected to ABOT's vision. She wouldn't at first, but William convinced her to take it eventually. We also discovered that she's William's wife. We know that the other two apprentices don't have an actual relation to them, just apprentices. We let them go on their way. Meanwhile, we went to sleep, and we're a little bit wary because we knew that Nathaniel had had talked with William last night, and we thought he had made a deal, but apparently he didn't. We woke up. Carrick went to talk to him outside when Nathaniel asked, and they came to the conclusion that there wasn't a lot of trust, and so they decided to use Zone of Truth with everyone in it so that people could ask questions and try to get some truth out of it. A lot of questions were asked back and forth. Check Kira's document because I don't want to spend here 20 minutes. In the end, it wasn't really that the tensions really didn't clear that much between the people that were with more tension, like Alan, I think, from the Eularians, who was a little bit more wary of us and didn't really trust us. And at the end, I don't think he really released attention, but everyone else was a bit more, okay, I'm willing to do this. And Carrick sat down and started working on the Batches of Gold for the Eularians. Meanwhile, Kira, Flint, and ABOT went up the mountain to get the kids to their parents and see if they could get the wolves. And midway, they found a gigantic bird that was flying close to the village. We moved in. We found the bird attacking the crystals, so we went for its ass. A quick fight, but very impactful one happened, where we killed the bird, but Flint got his second limb pierced because such things happen. And I think that Damien started walking towards us after hearing the bird, but then Sarli started getting really bad, so he was picked up by Nathaniel, and they started walking to the place where they were supposed to take Sarli, while Nathaniel healed him, and that's all our characters know. Or maybe don't. Carrick knows. That's it. I believe that's all, except for the details on the questions made during the intros.
Okay. So last session ended with Flint jumping onto the back of this monstrous bird, deer-like creature, grabbing it by the antlers and pulling until he heard the neck snap, while putting all his body weight on its back. As you kind of step down from the still creature, wheezing as you find it harder and harder to catch your breath as the adrenaline gives down. I need you to take 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
You look to ABOT and Kira. What are you doing?
I'm having a hard time at the moment.
Flint?
What?
What? ABOT just quickly approaches him, looking down at the puncture wound that he suffered.
Is he still big?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or looking up at the puncture wound.
It's 10 feet tall.
That was an amazing fight. Everyone did a good showing.
ABOT just looks over to Kira and tries to give like a thumbs up with one of his 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Thanks, Avebot. Let's
No,
see if we
really
can
good.
fix up Flint at all.
Flint, are you okay?
I can't breathe.
Could you lie down for a second?
He takes off the casket with at the moment also 10 feet, and he just drops on the ground. There's a puff of smoke as he on the ground,
Could you?
and then I drop concentration grows.
Yes, thank you.
He approaches Flint and just inspects the wound.
Flint, are you having trouble breathing?
He looks over to Kira and then back down to Flint.
Flint, I'm not sure how you're breathing. It seems that your lungs are... Could we take off your armor, please?
He starts undoing the back and slowly takes away the breastplate.
ABOT's just assisting him in this very quickly. What does the wound look like?
So there is a scar on his left side from the puncture earlier, and it's just kind of a small kind of like those 3 different piercings from when the frog kind of jabbed its hand in, and different fingernails went through his chest, and one of them pierced his lung. But those are all scarred and healed at this point from the healing he's taken. On the other side, on his right side, basically under his armpit, it looks like there is 2 insertions. It went one kind of near his below his ribcage at his belly. It looks like one of the antlers kind of went in and reached up. Was the other one looks like it actually went between 2 of his ribs, and pierced his lung from the side. So it's probably 3-inch diameter hole in his side. It probably broke a rib. It probably broke a rib as it went through. You could find out if you try to operate.
Flint, roll onto your side, please.
So the way that ABOT's trying to tell him is he rolls on his side so that the hole is going straight upwards.
Okay. So it's 2
You'll do
different
that.
holes, one lower, near the low abdomen, one kind of right in the center of the rib cage. Flint, do you roll over on your left side to have that right side facing up?
Yeah, but myself, he's still at the same time he's putting his hand on his chest, and after he rolls, and just wheezing, trying to breathe, and essentially trying to pause between breaths so that he doesn't waste the air.
As you kind of lay down and then roll on your side, you feel this immense pressure and weight, and feels like you're like almost struggling to catch your breath. It seems to be that however this is happening and this is punctured, the gravity is allowing your lung to expand, and give you enough air to survive and not start suffocating. But this position, you are legitimately unable to breathe.
Okay. I'll roll. Take a deep breath, hold it, and rotate again.
Okay, you're about to knowing yourself. This is probably half of your maximum air capacity that you're able to pull in when you roll.
Okay. So I have about 5 minutes, I think. Let me. I'll make the calculation. That's a good amount of time.
Should be about 5 minutes, but just do the check the numbers and double check.
I'm good. Meanwhile, if I can do this.
D&D Beyond should just straight up tell you.
Yeah.
As ABOT's looking at the hole, he's very quickly starting to realize how grave and serious this is.
Kira, this is worse than I originally anticipated. I will need your assistance with this very quickly.
ABOT quickly
Okay.
pinches all three of his fingers together so that it's still forming a hole throughout the fingers, but he's trying to have as perfect of a seal as he possibly could with each of his three fingers. He's inspecting the hole once more. Is there anything specific that is in the way of the chest wall and the lung? Like, is any of the bits of broken rib lodged in there? So that
Roll
it's not
a
perfect...
medicine check.
Question. Could I, since ABOT's definitely using his knowledge of medicine through reading rather than his knowledge of medicine through wisdom and experience, could I roll with intelligence instead of wisdom?
So you're saying you're going based on your understanding of anatomy,
Versus, yeah, because medicine checks are traditionally wisdom, but he's going less off of experience and wisdom and more off of anatomy.
Okay, that's fair.
Hell yeah. Oh, thank God. Okay, we got this. Easy peasy. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a... Great, it's my curse die. It's a 7. That would
Should be a 15, right?
a 15 for the roll.
Okay. So what you're... Correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're looking for to see if there's any obstruction between his rib cage and the lung?
Yes. So ideally there wouldn't be any bits of broken rib that I need to
So
extract.
based on your understanding of anatomy, there shouldn't be.
Looking in the hole,
You can't
did the
see.
attack
You
dislodge any of it?
You can't see inside the wound. Like it's a basically just a bloody pool as he kind of sits on this angle. So you can't see anything in there. Based on your understanding of anatomy, there should not be anything other than fleshy bits between his rib cage and his lungs.
Kira, I'm going to need your assistance with this. I need to create a straw so that I can drain this wound.
He's going to look at his hand. So he's formed this, just so I can paint this mental image picture to you, Frank. He's pressed his fingers up against each other to form a seal so that there's still a gap within this seal. And then he's going to cast Mending to make this a perfect seal. So he's going to try to mend his fingers together so that this straw that he's created isn't going to leak.
I don't believe that that's how mending works.
Mending can repair a seam. Let me just...
It can repair things. I know it can repair things. I don't think it can reform things. It just brings it back to its original state.
Okay. Then without that, ABOT's going to take a look at Kira's cloak and just quickly ask her,
Kira, could I utilize bits of cloth? I need to make sure that it's as perfect of a seam as possible.
Well, don't you have quills for writing? Those are hollow, right?
Yes, but I will need to drain much more than the thin portion of a quill.
he's looking down at Flint and just realizing how how much of a timer that this is on.
Yep.
Okay,
So as you're
let's
looking
take
down
off the
on
cloak.
Flint, you see that he's been holding his breath pretty calmly, but now it's starting to. You can see a little bit of tension in his eyes, maybe even panic. Um, I am now setting a timer for 5 minutes before Flint begins to suffocate. Starting
Okay, I
now.
take off my cloak and give it to ABOT.
Abot's quickly just wrapping this cloak, as thin pieces of fabric as he can, around his fingers, so that not the thick bundles of fabric, but as thin as he possibly can. So it's just helping him create a more perfect, block of this like gap that he's created around his hand.
Okay.
He's then going to attempt to, first he's going to look over to Kira and ask her,
Kira, do you still have that pick on you?
Yeah?
I'm going to need you to create a hole within this gap I've created in my hand. I need to drain this gunk from within Flint.
he's sort of looking down at his hand and pointing to a specific part that he's asking her to basically drill a hole in with the pickaxe.
Okay, she takes like the pointy end of it and puts it where he's pointing and it starts like twisting it back and forth with pressure.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh shit.
Timer stopped.
14?
Okay, so you begin to spin it, kind of just like chiseling out this kind of very fine hole with just the point, and you kind of go down and down and down. But as you're, depending on how far down you go, that you're going to know that that hole is going to get wider and wider and wider as the pick, again, comes from that point and widens up at the base.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
as
this
long as
good?
there's a hole. Yeah.
Yes, that is adequate, thank you.
He looks down over at Flint again and is now going to attempt to press his new hand into this wound. He's
Okay.
going to attempt to push it down far enough that he can reach the lung. But given that he's a dwarf, he's not going to, you know.
So Flint, roll me a Constitution check, please.
Sorry, check or saving throw?
Check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Okay. So you're able to, as this happens, it does hurt as he kind of takes his finger and sticks it in your wound, but you do not flinch. You're able to hold firm. ABOT, you kind of push through, and you go in probably about maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches. You realize, you can just tell by like looking at him and your understanding of anatomy that your finger is going past his ribcage and is kind of stopping somewhere between the lung and the wall of the ribcage.
He's going to try to find the break in the lung wall, try to use the open wound as a guide to find this break in his lung.
So you're going to push deeper and try and touch the lung?
Yes.
Okay. Pausing. Flint, make another Constitution check, please, and then ABOT, make a Dexterity check against that Constitution check.
Flint, this may hurt.
23.
13.
So, as you kind of go to slowly push your finger through, you kind of just jam it in for a second, and Flint, you just feel this horrible fucking pain as ABOT kind of just slams his finger into your lung. ABOT, as you do that, you do feel that there is not necessarily a hole, but more of a tear.
By the way, Flint is like, you hear as he's like starting, like there's tears coming out of his eyes, and he's just holding his breath for dear life.
No.
Don't worry, Flint, you're going to be okay. This is fine. Do not worry.
He's like trying to say that over and over again. Now that I've seen that it's more of a tear.
You haven't
there
seen,
any-
you feel.
Sorry, my bad. Now that I feel the tear, can I tell how wide that this gap is? That's because there has to be blood or gunk in it, right, for him to not be able to breathe.
You can't really tell. You just feel the loose tissue, and then you can, yeah, as you feel around, you can feel more firm tissue. So it seems like there's just like two flaps kind of overlapping.
Okay. ABOT's going to feel around this tear that's been created and try to press his fingers up against it. And then, moment of truth, when he feels that he's blocked up the tear with his fingers, he's going to cast Cure Wounds directly onto the lung.
Okay. Roll another dexterity check, please. And Flint, please roll another constitution check. With disadvantage.
Uh-oh.
What was the dexterity
3.
check? A 3?
I got 13. 9 plus 4.
So, Abot, you get to this point where you're trying to find the fold and try to line them up and then cover them with your finger, but you're not actually able to. And you're kind of just to this point where you're just kind of wiggling your finger around inside of Flint's rib cage. Flint, as this is happening, you feel this incredible fucking pain, and you let out a slight gasp of air, losing 10 seconds, and you know that you have about 30 seconds left before you begin to choke.
Okay, I immediately start punching the ground, almost like, hurry, just get it done. He's going blue at this moment.
Okay. Timer started.
ABOT, last second ditch maneuver that he's doing. He's going to say under his breath, just the slightest amount. He's basically, the second he feels what he's trying to do work, he's going to cast Cure Wounds on this lung. He's going to chant "We Are One" and release enough of the green gas to just feel inside of it, to put his fingers in the right place to cast Cure Wounds. But he's doing this as quickly as possible.
Okay. As you kind of release this small bit of gas inside of Flint, am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Flint, please make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh god.
That's a 10. Almost a 19, but that's a 10.
10. Okay. So a couple different things are happening in this moment. You feel for a brief second this burning sensation from within you. Simultaneously, ABOT, you kind of release the gas. Is your intent to try to see through the gas to be able to find what you're looking for?
Yep.
As you do that, you kind of see your perspective change. You're seeing darkness, and then kind of a couple different, almost seems like fabric or tissue or something, while simultaneously seeing out around you. It's kind of mind-boggling the way that you're looking right now. You see these two folds of fabric kind of overlapping, and then one hanging loose, and then this gap in space in front of you, and it's this pinkish red fabric or tissue. And as that's happening, Flint, you feel this burning sensation, and you feel it kind of start in your chest, right where pretty much Awat's finger is, and you feel it kind of float up your neck, up past your cheeks, past your eyes, to your head, as you simultaneously begin to start suffocating.
ABOT's going to quickly shift, try to pull this green energies back into him, while thrusting forward with his arm for this seam and tear that he's seen with his gas, and then cast Cure Wounds just as quickly as he can. Do those three things. He pulls back, then thrusts forward, then cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. So as you kind of pull your finger back a little bit, Flint, you feel that, and you choke for a moment. Then you feel him push his finger forward, and in that instant, you pass out. You are now at 0 hit points.
Okay. Am I making that saving?
Nope, not yet. Then, ABOT, you said you cast Cure Wounds?
Yep.
Alright, roll healing.
Wait, actually, it's not that many dice. Hold on. I was confusing with a different spell. 2 runes, 5e, 1d8, 1d8. 7. 7 hit points.
7 hit points. And in that moment, so Flint, you feel yourself give out. And then almost an instant later, ABOT, you feel the two skin folds kind of seal themselves back together. You're not sure if they're sealing themselves right. As Flint kind of juts back awake. You now have 7 hit points. Do you try to take a big breath? Or, ABOT, are you kind of just standing there with your finger inside this dude?
Oh, ABOT's very slowly trying to draw his fingers out of him.
Dexterity check. And Flint, what are you doing as you kind of passed out and then came back to in this, like, instant?
I very slowly try to draw breath. Like, not a big breath. I know that I made one when I woke, because that's just instinct. But by mind, he's trying to slowly draw in air and seeing if it keeps, or if he's still not being able to do it. Exactly.
You're able to get a deeper breath than you were before as ABOT kind of slowly and gently pulls his finger away from the wound in your chest. And you're able to get slightly bigger breath than before. Not as good as before the first lung was injured, but definitely
Not dying.
as about the same as it's been for the past couple days since you fought that toad. Your lung has been healed.
It's okay, Flint. It is okay. You're fine now.
Holy shit. Thank you.
Oh.
ABOT just, like, leans backwards and just falls down on his butt.
Kira pats the top of ABOT's head and then goes over to Flint and casts Cure Wounds on him again.
Okay. Roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the spell on D&D Beyond. 1d8 plus 2.
Meanwhile, Carrick.
Mm-hmm.
You've been walking for about 15-20 minutes or so through the forest back towards the Hanu as Damien left. Are you doing anything specific, or kind of just keeping your head down, keeping aware of your surroundings, and making your way through the forest?
Yeah, really just, keeping myself cognizant of any dangers.
Okay, roll perception check, please. You muted?
That is an 18 total.
18. Okay. So you've been walking for about 20 minutes. You don't see or hear anything out of the ordinary. You're kind of just making your way. But you do smell some kind of stench. Doesn't quite smell like decay. More almost like body odor.
From what direction?
Can't place it. Are you gonna continue walking, or? It's like a strong, oniony body odor.
Yeah, I kind of want to drop I kind of want to like drop to my knees, and granted I'm not that tall anyway, but I want to drop to my knees and just sort of like be quiet and just keep an eye out.
So just stop for a moment and wait and see what's going on.
Yeah, even if Carrick doesn't see anything, he'll wait for like a solid 5-10 minutes.
Okay. You said 5 to 10 minutes?
Correct.
Okay. Back to Kira. You kind of put your hand on Flint. What did you roll for the heal?
7 hit points.
7. Flint, you gain another 7 hit points.
Oh boy.
As the 2 wounds on your rib cage kind of on the side of your rib cage kind of slowly cinch back together and heal.
He's also gonna start slowly drawing in breath and just focusing trying to focus less on the pain, and just again trying to make his vision clearer, getting as far away as he can from unconsciousness. Just gonna second wind, just try to keep being there and just not let himself go again.
You're gonna second wind, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you're kind of slowly drawing in breath, and letting it out, and slowly drawing it in, and letting it out, you feel yourself becoming healthier. Go ahead and roll your dice for your second wind.
I got a 4 plus 7. That makes it 11.
Okay. So how many hit points are you back up to?
25.
25. Okay.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
Okay. I'm okay. Let's go get the kids. Get the wolves. Get the fuck out.
Yes, I
Get
agree.
the wolves first since we're already here.
You might scare the kids, but I'm okay with it. It's not my priority.
I mean, ABOT, you can go get the kids while I do the ritual thingy.
I would rather stay here with Flint.
Alright. Are these the crystals, Frankie?
Yep, and basically a couple feet from where you guys killed the bird, there are the 2 flowers.
Okay. I want to go to the crystal that has Ivris in it.
Okay, it's this one.
Okay. And I want to look at the bush. Does it look like there are enough petals on there to do the ritual?
So you kind of kneel down and get close, as you've done before. You see the vines kind of reaching up the base of the crystal and then kind of digging in and then digging down into the earth, and one of them coming up and coming into this flower. As you kind of just look at it and observe it, there is a multicolored bud, large, probably maybe 2 feet diameter, coming to a point at the top. Red, yellow, green, and blue petals, about the same size, about the same amount of petals, maybe 1 or 2 less, maybe 1 or 2 more, as when you originally found Avarice.
Okay. I'm going to start picking the petals then.
Okay. Roll dexterity check, please.
Mm, 4.
4.
God damn it, I rolled a fucking natural 1.
Should I ask for help?
So, as you pick the petals, you're able to gather. Actually, hold on, let me see here. I just gotta look at something. What did I do? Um, you're able to gather 8 green petals, 2 yellow petals, 2 blue petals, and 4 red petals. As you pluck some of them, they kind of fall apart in your hands.
What was the 4?
I got 4 red ones.
Still have the other flower to pick, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start weaving them together. Now I gotta do math. Okay, can you like skip to Carrick while I do this, please?
All right, ABOT Flint, what are you guys doing
Thank
as
you.
as she begins to do this?
Abot's inspecting the wound a little bit more, but trying to make sure that he's not going to have a broken rib go straight through his lung and just have to do that all over again.
Yeah. So as the tissue kind of healed up, you kind of take your hand and feel around the bruising, and kind of where the hole in basically his rib cage is, through the tissue as the tissue itself has been healed. Just based on what you know of anatomy, and the fact that you don't see any bone fragments, it seems like there's definitely still bone fragments inside of Flint. Because they're not on the ground. You didn't pull them out. So either it completely evaporated or it is inside of him.
Hey, but, if we manage to do it, this can't happen again. I need to.
Yes,
Need to
I
have actual
agree. This
surgery.
would be avoidable or avoided in the future. Then, are you feeling okay?
I'm still feeling like shit, but that's to be expected.
Anything
What was the
sharp
burning?
poking around your insides?
I tap it, like I start tapping my chest and next to the wound.
You feel that one of your, as you kind of like push on your rib cage a little bit, it's very tender. You feel your ribs aren't at, like, you can feel some give as you push a little bit. But it's not like you can feel any loose pieces or anything.
I don't feel loose bones at least, so that's good.
There's a little bit of
Good.
give in them more than they're supposed to be, because
Yeah.
they're not held in place fully, as there's a chunk of one missing. But if it is inside you, it's kind of floating around in there somewhere, because you're still laying down at this point. So
I'm gonna need actual surgery.
Yes, I agree. I do not want to do that again. Flint, I'm not a surgeon. If that was anyone else, they would have died. I'm confident.
I'm glad I'm a little tougher then. What was the burning?
I had to use some of the hunger to see inside of your body, so I knew where to press and where to heal. I needed to repair the lung, or else it would have filled with blood. That would not have been good, Flint. That would have killed you.
It's okay.
That was
Figure it
very
out.
dangerous.
I'll figure it out. We'll get protection from evil and good, or remove curse, or other ways. Maybe I'll just ask Carrick to hack me to pieces, and they're healing to just. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
That's okay. Thank you, man.
Thank you for killing that monster as well. That was very useful.
It's just my primary job. You acting medic is not. So thanks, man.
Regardless, take it easy. I do not want to have to do that again. That would not be good. Alright.
For none of us.
So, Carrick, as you've kind of been laying low, waiting to see what that stench is, after about 8 minutes, you hear this voice. First it's 1, then it's 2. It's some language that you're not familiar with. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure that's a true fucking statement.
I speak 4 languages.
What languages do you speak?
Common, Celestial, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Okay, yeah, you do not understand this language. And as you're kind of standing there, you hear it first. You then hear another voice, basically coming from the same point.
Oh my god, I know what it is.
And you're hearing kind of the rustling of bushes, and then kind of this as you it's coming more and more into view. It's getting louder and louder. It stops for a moment, and there's none of the banging or the rustling, but you still hear the voice. Kind of going back and forth. Seems to be about maybe 80 feet away or so through the woods to your kind of over your right shoulder.
I know I don't know the language, but have I ever heard the language spoken
You have
before?
not ever heard this language before.
Okay. I want to give whatever this thing / these people are, like a really wide berth. Like, if they're 80 feet over my right shoulder, I want to basically just move laterally,
Okay.
like another 500 feet. and
Away
just,
from
like,
them.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so if it's like here you are, and you were headed in this direction to the Hanu, whatever you're hearing is like over here somewhere.
Yeah.
So you're gonna move this way
Yes, just
As-
super wide berth.
as quietly as you can.
Correct.
Make a stealth check, please.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with disadvantage.
With a 9.
Okay. As you begin to move to away from the sound, you kind of take a couple steps, and as you do, as you step on a twig, do you stop or do you continue? You hear the voices still going back and forth.
Do I hear any change in the location of the voice?
No, it's still coming from that general area, and the voices are still going back and forth as you kind of step on something. You hear, and you just stop.
Nope. Just keep moving.
Okay. So, as you continue, you make your way about. You said you're going to try and go 500 feet.
Yeah, like just super wide berth.
Okay. You make your way about 250 feet away from where you were as the voices kind of fade off into the distance. Make another stealth check, please.
Ooh, 17. Shit.
Okay. As you're walking, you're moving pretty quietly and gracefully, and you're able to make your way through the through the forest. As the voices kind of fade, and you get to a point where you can no longer hear them, so they could be in the same spot. They might have moved by now. What are you doing?
Once I get the, sufficient amount of distance I wanted to move, I want to just sort of keep heading towards the Hanu camp.
Stealthily?
Yeah.
Okay. So you begin kind of continuing on your way, just slowly kind of creeping along. You do not hear those voices again. And you make your way. Kira, you've been you've picked the flowers. As you kind of picked some of the petals, some of them crumpled in your hands. You pick off as many as you can to a point where, as you pick them away, you see this on kind of the bed of this flower. You see this small, slumbering wolf puppy. Doesn't seem to be disturbed by you at all. Doesn't even just seem to be aware of your being there.
Okay. I want to go to Shalenz's bud and pick off one green one.
Leaving the wolf where it is?
No, I grab her. I take her with me.
As you kind of reach down and pick it up, it kind of wakes up. You move over to the other flower. What are you doing? Picking all the...
I just want one green one.
Okay. Roll a dexterity check, please.
Oh, shit. Please. Okay, that's better. 12.
So you're able to kind of grab it and pull it off delicately.
Excellent. Okay, then I'm going to start making her little crown.
Okay. What pattern are you going to lay out the petals in? Green, yellow, green, blue. Hold on a second. Okay. So as you lay these out in a circle, about the size of the wolf's head, do you do anything else, or do you kind of just lay them there?
I weave them together.
With what?
I'm assuming I have sinew from the things I've killed before in my backpack.
Okay. Did you harvest and make it a point to add that to your inventory, or are you just saying that you have that? So I don't think you have that then.
Okay, I'll come. I can't remember what I used last time. I think I used a piece of my cloak. ABOT, do you remember? Soup?
No, I don't.
So I remember you gave me something.
You used the vine last time.
Oh, I used a fine. Oh, shit.
There's sinew on the current thing we killed.
Oh, there's vines on the crystal, correct?
There are vines that are embedded into the side of the crystal that shoot down into the ground, and then some of them come up, forming this into this bulb. You're not sure where the rest of them go.
Can I
probably-
try to... I'm gonna try to cut off a piece from the bulb.
From the bulb?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna lean down. You're gonna cut this vine that is attached to this flower that is running into the ground and presumably runs up and connects to this crystal. Just to be clear, that's what you're gonna do.
No,
sure about
okay.
that?
No. Okay, I take her over to the bird. I'm gonna.
And you're
try to
leaving the
No, I'm
petals.
taking her with me. Taking her with
Nope,
me.
you're leaving the petals on the ground near the flower. Is what I'm
I can't
hearing.
scoop them up.
If you need to, you can give one of them to us. We're still here. Do you need help?
Yes, please
Look.
help me.
Alright, I slowly get up. Okay, give me the petals. I'll just hold them.
Okay.
As you stand up, Flint, Constitution saving throw, please.
Ah, shit.
Fuck shit.
Okay, give me a second. That's a 20 non-natural.
Okay. You're able to stand up. You feel a slight bit of like weight and movement and kind of throwing off your stance, and you kind of hear like a inside your chest cavity as things like settle and reset. You're able to stand up, and it hurts at first, but you're able to kind of fight through it and stand fully. Feels like you have limited range of motion, maybe in your arm due to the bruising, and you can't twist your body as much due to the bruising, but it seems that you can function.
I slowly wobble to her and just put my hands out to have the petals in my hand and do nothing with them.
Okay.
Just to free her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so you take all the petals and you're kind of gently holding them, careful not to rip or break any of them. Is that what you're trying to do?
Exactly.
All
Yes, just have them in my hand, not even like moving the hands, just in the palm.
Okay. Just kind of put your hands out and don't even move them. Got it. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. So I go up to the giant bird that we just murdered, and I'm gonna start cutting at its wing with my axe. Like, I'll need to kneel down next to it, put the puppy on my lap, and kind of scrape away at the wing with my hand axe to get some sinew out of it.
Roll me a survival check, please, with disadvantage, as you're basically slashing at this dead bird while trying to stop the puppy from running away and like kind of just corral it and keep it where it is.
Oh my god, this sucks. Okay, 11. Great. 8.
Okay. So you're kind of hacking away at and for a moment that the dog kind of just like gets up and it's like getting kind of like, it's waking up and it's becoming kind of playful and it's like climbing up on you, and then it goes to like run away for a second, and you kind of like reach out real fast, grab it by kind of like a scruff, almost drop your axe, pull the dog back in, kind of corralling it back in, and continue to hack away, kind of holding it between your thighs, trying not to let this dog run away. You're able to get maybe a 2-foot long piece of like tendon from the bird's
that'll
leg.
work. Alright. So, I'm gonna go back over to Flint. I'm gonna sit back down, put the puppy in my lap. Flint, could you put the petals on the ground, please? Really gently?
Very slowly, just let them drop on the ground.
I need one of you to make a perception check, please.
Oh. 17.
Flint, you notice in this moment the orcish children and Tomlin are kind of been standing outside at the gate. And Tomlin has been kind of slowly making his way with the kids into the town, out of the woods, as the commotion has died down. You see him coming up from your left, and then simultaneously from your right, you see the old orcish woman coming out from her tent.
Alright, we're gonna need to work fast. We're gonna keep working. Tom,
Okay.
make sure the kids stay there and let the mother go to them. I'm sorry, there's a lot going on.
He kind of looks at you for a moment, and like almost inquisitively, and cocks his head sideways as he sees this dead bird, these 2 large pillars, and you two, and this empty village.
I'll explain all of it later. Promise, okay? Just for now, just keep them there. Let them be with the mother. We'll get to you as soon as we can, okay? Sorry.
He's kind of just looking at you, and you can see the frustration in his eyes.
I'm fucking busy, Tomlin. I'm gonna
As
quickly
the
weave
orcish
together.
woman is continuing to hobble over through the town towards into the center where the two crystals are.
Alright, come on, finish this.
I quickly weave together the crown with the sinew and the petals in the order that I put before.
Okay.
I swear to God. This better be the right order. I'm gonna cry.
Let me do something real quick.
Stop drawing a dick on my wolf.
I wish I had 2 monitors.
Thought you were distracted.
No.
Just gonna write this down. Fuck it. Do do do. Another one. Okay, and then your pattern was.
Suspense is killing me.
Okay.
I know I fucked it up.
Okay. So you tie the sinew together. And so now you have the crown. What are you doing with it?
I put it on her head, and I put her down before me, because I'm already on my knees.
Yep.
And I say, Huntress, give me your aid. Please, Freya, let this work.
And as you place the crown, and you look at the wolf pup, and say, Huntress, give me your aid. Nothing happens.
Fuck. Okay. I take the crown off, and I think I know where I messed up. Copy and paste again. Okay, I take out one of the red ones from where I had 3, and then I move it near the end so that I have green, red, green, red, green on the end.
Can you type it out again?
Yeah.
So you reorganize the structure. At this point, the orcish woman is now, Flint, you watch her as she approaches the crystal and the other. She kind of she's looking at one of the flowers and sees that it's been dismantled. And she's kind of just examining it.
Tell the woman that their kids are at the gate. She can go watch them.
Oh, okay, I turn around and yell, Mother of the Hanu, your children are at the gate. Does she do anything?
She doesn't seem to even acknowledge you as she's kind of looking at this and then looking up at the
ABOT, please
crystal.
go stop her. I'm gonna scream if she fucks with this at all.
So you reorganize the structure. And you place the crown on the pup's head. What are you doing?
Huntress, give me your aid. Please.
And with that, you place the wolf pup in front of you, kind of like launches out of your hands as, all too familiar, this bright, shining light begins to emanate as the wolf grows and grows, and these 2 large antlers begin to protrude from its head, and it grows larger and larger and larger, taking up the space and filling the space. As it comes into full, you see a pure white fur coat. And you recognize instantly that Ivris stands before you.
Oh, thank God.
Hello again, Grumpy Wolf. Alright, go get the other one before the old woman.
As it happens, Ivris kind of stands proud, stands tall, chest kind of puffed out. You see it like rotating its shoulders, kind of limbering up. And then it comes up to your lap, sniffs you. In your mind, old friend. As she kind of paces around you and kind of brushes her head against your back, and then comes around the other side.
I give her a hug. Ivris, I missed you. Okay, we need to get Shalens now before the orcish woman messes with her flower. Okay.
I think that was Sarah talking, not Kira. She missed Ivris.
As
I won't kill this woman. I swear to God.
As you turn, Kira, you see that she's now looking at the other one, and she's kind of kneeling in front of it.
I sprint over to this bitch.
As you kind of become hostile, Ivris leaps forward with you, growling at the woman. She kind of nonchalantly just looks up at you as she's kind of in this bent over, kneeling position, kind of looking at you and looking at the wolf.
Please do not touch that. We brought back your children. They are at the gate. You should go see them.
She kind of looks at you and looks at the wolf. And she stands up very slowly and takes a step past you, looking directly at Ivris. Another step past you. Reaches out a hand, paying no mind to you, only to Ivris, and Ivris is standing there growling at her. She reaches out a hand.
What does it look like her intentions are? Like, is she trying to pet her?
She's just like almost like she's showing her the back of the hand, like looking for Ivris to like sniff the hand.
Oh.
And she's just again in her tattered clothing and all of her charms and everything kind of dangling off of her neck, her necklace, and one of her broken tusks, and then the staff that she kind of leans on as she kind of wobbles along, and she reaches out a hand. And as Ivris kind of leans in very close and sniffs the hand, you see Ivris's demeanor begin to change. You see the hair on her back kind of stand down as she kind of lowers her head and then walks around the woman, doing something similar that she did to you, nuzzling the head on the back.
Ivris, what are you doing?
Keeper.
Oh, shit.
I knew it.
The orcish woman looks up at you. I've waited a long time for you, Kira. I knew you would destroy the Hanu. The fire and Freya told me it would be so. And she kind of looks past you again, hobbles back to the other flower. And she leans in really close to it and she smells it and kind of wafting the smell. Looks up at you.
I guess I'm just watching her. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
She continues to waft the smell and kind of get closer, and then she kind of takes one hand very slowly and gently touches the bottom of the flower. And she looks up at you and she says,
Shalens was once pure. She was twisted, left for dead. After the corruption took me.
After the corruption took you?
I am dying, Kira. That is why you are here. To keep Shalens. To guide her. Now that she has been reborn. Things did not go as I planned.
She looks back toward the tent that she came out of.
Haduk, my son, had other plans. He would not wait for you. But you have done well.
And she looks past you at the children.
The Hanu will survive. Shalens will survive. And you will lead them to war, as is your destiny.
And she
I'm
kind of
supposed to lead the children to war?
and she kind of frailly stands up and begins to hobble her way back away from you towards her tent. What are you doing?
Okay. Kira just looks kind of stunned, like, what the fuck just happened? She's gonna kneel down next to the flower and just watch the woman walk away and look over at the children and see what they're doing.
Children are all kind of just standing there. Tomlin's kind of holding them back as you see them kind of getting anxious and ambitious as they see this giant fucking wolf appear. And, like, you see, you know, they're kind of hooting and hollering, yelling different things in Orcish. Wolf Keeper and Mother and,
That fucking bird.
two of them are, like, talking about the bird, yeah, and it's kind of a little bit of chaos. Tomlin's trying to keep it all under control. You see Tomlin kind of just looks fucking angry.
I'll pay you back, man. Pay you back. As soon as I'm not fucking dying.
Okay, do I have any of the sinew left, or did I use it all?
You have enough to do another.
Okay. I'm going to start gently picking the petals. Hopefully I don't fuck it up again.
Okay. So, I need a dexterity check, please.
$12.
Okay. You are able to pick 19 11 10 green petals, 5 red petals, 2 yellow petals, 2 blue petals.
Okay. I can work with that. Hold on.
Well, it's the same as the other one, and you got the extra green, so you should be fine.
Yeah, there has to be a green between every single one, and then if I have extras. Okay, I do it like that.
Okay. And as you form the crown, pick all the petals off, you see this, again, wolf pup lying there asleep. This wolf has a grayish coat. It stands there, and you see it's much leaner than Ivris. It almost looks malnourished. Almost like you can see that the waist is very thin, and you can actually make out the ribs of this wolf pup. But it's lying there, breathing. It seems to be breathing very fast as it's sleeping.
Okay. I take her out gently.
Okay. Doesn't even wake up.
Okay. I put her on the ground in front of me, and I put the crown on her head after I weave it with the sinew.
Okay.
And I say, Huntress, give me your aid.
And as that happens again, this white light kind of shines forth, and the wolf begins to grow larger and larger and larger and larger as these two antlers begin to protrude from its head, growing larger and larger and larger. But the wolf does not stand. It stays there in that same position as it grows. It doesn't stand proud. It doesn't stand tall. It lies there still, lean, almost thin, almost sickly. Head down on its hands as one eye kind of shoots open as it grows. And as it continues to grow, it's looking at you, and the eye kind of rolls sideways and looks you up and down. You see the nostrils kind of flare, and you see it, one paw kind of trembling as it tries to push itself up, and the others begin to tremble too, to a point where it's standing. And Ivris comes over gently, kind of nudging with her nose kind of underneath the stomach, kind of frailly pushing Shalen's up as all four legs shake as it stands. And as it stands, you see Ivris kind of nuzzling the side of her head into it. And as Shalen stands next to Ivris, and Ivris kind of pushes up, Ivris lets out this blood-curdling howl next to you and next to her. As you see, Shalen's almost tries to lift her head to match, and then doesn't, and looks to you, and very slowly, wobbling, frail-like, basically falls into you. What do you do?
Check
Sure.
for her lung.
Just your reply.
Wait, what do you say to her?
I just reach out for her with my mind and ask Shalen's.
Keep her. As kind of all of the body weight falls into you. Make a strength check, please.
Uh-oh. Gotta get squished. Okay, we're fine. 18.
You kind of plant your feet firm, and ABOT and Flint, you kind of watch as Kira kind of just takes the brunt of the weight of this wolf and is kind of just holding it up. And Everest comes around and kind of leans in with you and supporting you as Shalen's frailly kind of shakes. I am weak, Keeper. I am weak.
What can I do to help you?
Rest. Hunt.
Okay. I'm going to lead her over to the big bird we just killed. We've had to do some butchering, boys.
I keep the antlers. Really like a trophy out of that. You know what?
Alright.
So you and Iris kind of guide Shalen's over, and you can see this somber, almost sadness in Shalen's eyes as it kind of walks up frailly to this bird and kind of almost looking to you, and then to Everest, and then back to you, almost like for permission
I nod to her.
You can tell that whatever this dynamic is, Shalen's in this state is like if this was a wolf pack, like very low on the totem pole, like a delta wolf essentially.
Okay.
Just very meek, mild, and almost even to walk, looking to you for permission, and looking to Ivris for permission.
I nod to her and I tell her, "Go ahead, eat."
And it kind of looks at Ivris, and they kind of lock eyes for a moment, and there's something unspoken there that you're not reading. And then very slowly, Shalen's kind of dips her head low, and slowly opens her mouth, clamps down on like the shoulder, where the wing meets the torso, and slowly pushes her jaw forward and through. And Ivris kind of walks around, not indulging. And as Shalen's kind of does that, she lowers her body down, and begins to start to basically eat from a lying position, as Ivris kind of lies down next to her, resting her head on Shalen's back. And that's where we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Been eating. This whole time I've been trying to MacGyver my way downstairs to get to some bagels.
Major suggestion. Major success.
But now I can just eat them during the 10-minute break.
I got
It's
told like
wonderful.
20 minutes ago. My mom was like, "Hey, your Chick-fil-A is here." It's like, okay, cool. So I went and got it, but I haven't had time to eat it.
I was sitting here going,
Ugh.
damn, are we gonna see his backup character?
Oh, Flint?
Yeah.
It's close.
I'm glad we did.
It was some quick thinking by Soup. Some quick thinking by Soup. We were fucking there. We were about to, if that cure
I
wounds,
saw that go to 0-0, and I was like, okay.
if that cure wounds didn't come pretty much right when it did, we were gonna start doing some death saves.
Not even close, baby.
I was sitting here going, I wonder if he'll want to make like a brother character to mine.
So, Sarah, there will eventually be a separate model for Shalen's. I just haven't had time to make it.
Okay.
Our poor sick boy.
Oh, poor Shalen's. God, I'm like shaking. I was so worried.
God, I'm so glad the other dog's suffering. Fuck that bitch.
And fuck you.
I really like that the old lady was doing puns. That she Hanu, that you destroyed the Hanu.
Oh boy.
God damn it.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I mean, this is just... If Kira was born in this village, then that old elderly woman would have massacred everyone. And Kira. The roles were reversed.
Not me. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
Fair enough. My bad. Might be.
And then with that, I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's my cue to leave.
I have so much HP. Slore.
Man, I'm so glad I survived. I did not want to play the back character.
Not
I'm
even.
so glad.
Not even close.
Not even close, yeah?
Yeah, I'm glad
Not
you
even
didn't
close.
die, because I didn't want to have to cry at another fake funeral.
I was 100% sure that would work.
I'm
No,
so
no
glad.
doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I
Shut
was
up,
fucking.
Listen,
I
me
was
and
very
Frank had it.
unsure.
Me and Frank had already had like all the spell scrolls the other character already got, like the entire backstory.
To be honest, I was about 75% sure Flint was gonna die this session.
I'm so glad
Well-
it didn't.
Well, I'm glad I'm just that much of a genius then.
You
huh?
you came up with some good shit, man. I think
What
one of the
a-
things you did is gonna have some fucking ramifications, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, that ramification is an instant death, so I'm happy
Yeah,
about it.
better possessed than
And
dead,
if I
as they
didn't
say.
do it, I just would have failed there, right? Like, there's no way I could have succeeded there if I hadn't done what I did.
I have already written my prayers too. So
I really think part of it is your backup character is a divination wizard, which is almost like a threat. I was telling Rapos about it. It's a threat to Frank. It's like, hey, if you kill Flint, this annoying piece of shit is going to take his place.
Yeah. But that's why like the first session that character comes in, I kill that character too.
Smart. I
You
mean, it's a
can't, because
wizard,
next
pretty
time,
squishy.
like when you roll a natural 20, I'm like, no, it's a natural 1 now. Fuck off. No, I'm just kidding.
Reality
just
can
kidding,
be
Frank.
whatever I want.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm already writing the prayers this one's gonna say at night. Just because I live.
Hey, pray to Savras, you fuck.
I mean, it's really hard to pray to a concept. Like,
What, ABOT does it all the time.
I know, but he wants a robot. I mean,
Oh man, that was close, Kira.
Oh
Kira,
my God,
Kira,
what
Kira,
a
Kira almost fucked something up.
Yeah. 'Cause
But Kira's a genius, so it was fine.
that +1 int though. God, I was so worried.
I
Because
appreciate. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, in the rhyme it says red more than just 2, and I only had 4 of them. I was like, fuck, so I can either put 3 here and 1 here, or 2 together. So I tried the 3 first, and that didn't fucking work. Luckily, a 2 worked.
Freya is revealed at the end to just be Dr. Seuss.
It's Dr. Tooth.
It's the Cat in the Hat.
No, it's Dr. Tooth, the Goblin.
Oh, it's possible. I feel like that's
I thought
just
you
an
were making
acolyte
a pun
of
about
Freya,
the number 2.
No.
alright. I made an altar with Kira in the middle, with both the wolves and the bird. It looks.
Thank you. It does look very nice. Poor
Um,
Shalens,
so
we need to
glad I
take her to
didn't
the
die.
vet.
I'm so glad I didn't die.
God damn it.
So
More vet
fucking relieved.
bills.
And you were saying my plan wasn't gonna work, right, boss? How you feel now, stupid?
I'm feeling really great. Listen, one of the things is like being a negative person like makes you happier, because when things go bad, you already expect it. When things go good, you're happy.
Yeah.
So, Sarah.
Hi.
Ivris's max health,
Okay.
whatever
It's 2.
whatever you left it at.
Mhm.
I don't remember what it was from all.
58.
It was 58. Remove 36.
Ugh. Okay. It's probably because I didn't use enough pedals, because they fucking broke.
Nope. It is because of the circumstances in which you sacrificed Ivris. Remember
Oh,
when
she gave her health to Shalens.
remember when she basically disintegrated herself, and she took a certain amount of damage. That is what her respawn health is reduced by. So the overall mechanic is build her up with sacrifices, build her max HP up with sacrifices, such that if you need to sacrifice her, the damage will happen, and that was what her health will be reduced by.
Oh, I see.
So now, it makes sense?
Yeah.
Shalens has 8 health currently.
Oh, poor baby.
That is her maximum health.
Damn, she's garbage. That's okay, I still love her.
Garbage baby.
Ba.
Oh, rip Captain.
Captain, my boy. By the way, I'm pretty sure that my theory is that Captain is about to be addressed by a net.
What?
Ogre with 2 heads.
Oh. Tell it
That
no
is my
thank you.
belief. I mean, it might be nice. Ettins aren't necessarily evil.
No solicitors, goodbye. Don't want to join your
You just
fucking
have to
MLM.
learn to talk giant. That's it.
My Chick-fil-A is cold.
I want to eat. I'm hungry.
You can have my Chick-fil-A,
But
it's
it's like-
cold.
Okay, I'll go there to American, brother.
Okay, it might be a little crusty by the time you get here.
Maybe.
Okay.
Just
So now, oops. So I am going to. I'm gonna post it in I'm gonna post it in Discord for now. Sarah.
Okay.
But I will make you a new like the Ivor sheet you have. So how this is going to work is so now ignore the 30 HP. The HP total that I told you is what's accurate. The HP total there is not accurate. They each have 13 AC. They each have 40 speed. They each have +9 stealth. You can either use a reaction, well, which is considered a joint reaction, where the two of them act at the same time. They only get one reaction per turn. Alternatively, you can use their own reaction. So where you see reactions is that's what they can do individually, or they can do a joint reaction. Okay?
Okay.
But it's still that's their reaction. So if you use, they each have their own. So if you use a joint reaction, it's both of theirs. If you use their reaction, like Ivris can do one, and then Shalens can do one.
Okay.
Once per turn.
Hell yeah.
Or round. Okay. So I'll make you a new sheet for like Ivers and Shalens.
Okay.
Just I haven't had time this week.
That's fine.
All right, is everybody back? Good to go?
Yep.
Soup's not.
Okay, if he's not back, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put my stuff in the fridge.
Okay. So Captain, you're here?
Yep.
Okay. So you've been continuing to make your way through the forest, towards the Hanu campsite. You've been walking for about 2 hours at this point. You had that slight encounter where you heard something. As you come to the tree line, at that field right before where the mountains kind of come into view, you kind of get to that tree line, and as you're looking out ahead of you, you see this very large creature, something you haven't ever seen before. Its back is to you. It's somewhere around 10 to 12 feet tall, standing on two legs. What looks to be two heads, one jutting looking to the left and one looking out straight ahead. You see that there are 4 arms, 2 on each side. In the top set of arms, a spear and a shield. On the bottom set of arms, a some kind of satchel. And then in the right, and then the left, what looks to be some kind of sword, or maybe even like another spear. You can't quite make it out from the angle that you're on. The creature itself has this dark green skin, and it's dressed pretty poorly. It has these ripped, like almost trousers, like that are shorts, and it's kind of standing there, and maybe 30 feet or so to your right, you see kind of a trail of footprints in the slushy mud, and it seems like the weight of this thing is actually just pushing into the dirt and the mud. Roll me a history check, please. And you remember these footprints from when you first left Shalinsta, and Kira pointed them out. three large toes pointing forward, and then like almost like a thumb toe pointing off to the side. And as you kind of stop and lean against that tree for a moment, kind of just hiding behind the tree line, you just hear that same language, and the two heads kind of looking at each other and then looking back away as they kind of point to the sky, point to the mountains, point to the left, and the other, and it continues to walk forward towards the mountains.
Alright, I will... Basically, if I want to go to the mountain, then I have to go the same path they're going, right?
You're basically following this thing. Yeah.
Okay, well, do I know roughly how long it'll take for me to get to the Hanu camp from where I am? I guess 2 more hours?
2 or 3, depending on pace, yep.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of stay behind this thing by roughly 200 feet.
Keeping in mind you're about to step... If you step past this tree line, you are in an open field before you hit the base of the mountain.
And how big is that field?
It's about... The creature itself is about halfway into the field. It looks to be about the equivalent of like 1,000 feet. So it's quite a way. It's probably 500 feet ahead of you.
Right. Can I stick to the edge of the tree line to get closer to
the tree line kind of
path?
just ends here. There is no path. It's just you have to walk through this field to get to the mountain. So it's like... It's
Right.
basically like this. If you're you're still on tabletop sim. So here's the tree
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Here's the base of the mountain. If this is 500, if this is a 1,000,
Right.
the creature's here. You are here.
It's still dark out, correct?
It is dark out.
Okay. I'm just going to, once it seems like there may be, and I don't know if I'll be able to see this thing, but like using sort of my knowledge of just how fast they're walking, how quickly they got to where they got to, how much further they have to go, I'd like to wait until they're roughly 750 feet ahead of me and then go.
Okay. So you wait a couple moments as it begins to walk, and after about another like 5 to 10 minutes of it kind of just casually strolling, pointing at the sky, still kind of bickering back and forth. You kind of feel comfortable enough to step out into the field.
Yeah, I do want to kind of commando this thing, so like on my arms and legs, just sort of crawling forward.
Okay. You're going to be moving significantly slower through this field then.
Yo, we chill.
Okay. So you're kind of staying very low, kind of like commando crawling through this field, popping up every now and then to make sure that thing is still line of sight and it hasn't disappeared. Roll me a perception check.
$14.
So you're able to keep your eyes on it as it crawls, and as it gets to the base of the mountain, and gets to that actual path that kind of leads up and around. You're at that point. You're about 250 feet in as it about 250 feet in as it reaches the base of the mountain.
Yeah, it hasn't like seen me at all or anything, right?
Hasn't noticed you.
Okay. As long as that thing is still an eye shot, or there can be a line of sight, I'm going to keep crawling on my arms and legs. Once that is no longer the case, I'll stand up and I'll walk.
Okay. As it continues to walk, it gets on the path, stops for a moment, and you can't really make out what it's saying. You kind of just hear the grumble because there's not really much else noise-wise except some crickets and just other insects. You kind of hear this grumble back and forth, and it continues to walk up the path. As it walks up and rounds kind of around this boulder, it does break line of sight. You're about 500 feet in the middle. You're basically in the middle of the field at this point, as it has begun climbing in altitude up the mountainside.
Yeah, so I'll get up and I'll walk now.
Okay. You continue to walk through this field. And you get to the path. And there's no sign of the creature.
I do want to keep an eye out for that boulder. And just make sure it doesn't move or crush me.
Roll perception check, please.
Right. That is a 9.
So that boulder is kind of standing there, kind of like right at the. Basically, it's like, if this is the path, and it kind of wraps around, and the boulder's kind of sitting here, and the path kind of wraps around it, and this is all climbing in elevation. You kind of get to here, and you kind of sink down and watch for a moment. And then this is climbing in elevation, right? So this is higher, so you can't actually see this part of the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you wait?
I want to wait again, like maybe a solid 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. So you kind of stay at the base of the path for another 5 to 10 minutes. And as time passes, the boulder doesn't move. There's nothing stirring along the path. After you wait about 8 minutes.
Okay. I mean, I'll still wait out the full 10.
Okay.
And just see if anything happens.
Another 2 minutes passes. Nothing.
Alright, I want to, I want to use thermometer. Is this accurate in regards to
Distance?
yeah.
No. Here's,
Okay.
You want me to, I'll draw something accurate.
You can just tell me how far it is.
I'm just going to draw it up. It's easier that way.
Okay.
So it's about, say every 10 feet, it's getting about 3 feet higher, give or take. So
Okay.
it's fairly steep. You're kind of pushing off your knees as you climb. So it's quite high up here to follow this path, and that's why you can't see up there.
Behind me, is there somewhere that if, let's say that boulder started rolling towards me, is there somewhere that I could dodge to?
So off the left of this path, so it's about ground level up until about here. And then if you were to jump off of this path, off this embankment, it would be about 20 or 30 or so feet tumble down kind of an embankment down this way.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically a sheer drop, 20 or 30 feet, as it climbs quite steep here. So this is about ground level, but here it just becomes like a sheer face. So basically, if this boulder was to be pushed somehow this way, there's a chance it either rolls off of the embankment here, or it would kind of glide down the path.
Alright, I want to use thaumaturgy and cast 30 feet in front of me the sound of a whinnying horse. Not incredibly loud, but just loud enough that if there was someone on the other side of that boulder, they could hear it.
Okay. So you make the noise. Nothing happens.
I would like to. Thaumaturgy I can only use for sounds.
So at this point, you've been standing here for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. And nothing.
Yep. And you've made that horse noise. Nothing.
Alright, I guess I will hug the left side of the path and just sort of slowly move up.
Okay. At what kind of rate? Like 5 feet every 30
like
seconds?
Quarter speed.
Okay. So you slowly begin and cautiously begin kind of climbing up the path. You know, kind of having to push off of your knees with each step. Leaning forward. Moving slowly. Eyes on the boulder, I assume?
Eyes on the boulder, but also like around the bend.
Okay, eyes kind of in this general area.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you kind of make your way up, slowly, little by little, to the point where you're almost near the boulder, nothing's happened. You gonna continue?
Yeah.
Okay. And you slowly continue to creep up, trying to be as quiet as possible. And you kind of get to the point where you can peek around the side of the boulder and there's nothing there.
Oh, good shit. Alright, I guess I keep moving.
So that whole process took you about 25 minutes. So if this thing kept walking, it's got about a 25, 30-minute lead on you.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, ABOT, Kira, and Flint.
Hi.
After
The two wolves have kind of just been like nuzzled together as Shalen's kind of feasts on this bird. What are you guys doing?
I look at Tomlin and I say, okay, Tomlin, let the children go, let them do their thing. They're gonna have their hearts broken in like 5 minutes, and I can explain to you what the fuck just happened if you're interested.
So as he's kind of been trying to entertain the kids, he kind of just puts his hands up in the air and the kids kind of rush forward. A bunch of them run up to the bird and start like jumping on the bird. Couple of them...
So they're just trying to eat and they're just climbing on it.
Yep. A couple of them run up to the wolves. Ivris kind of snaps her head up and growls at them. A couple of them run into the town. As you guys kind of, your eyes follow the kids that are running into the town, you see the orcish woman kind of standing there just outside her tent as the children kind of run into the village. And as the children run into the village, she turns. And for a brief moment, Kira, you see her make direct eye contact with you from quite far away, but you see it and you feel it. And she turns and walks into the tent. What are you guys doing?
So, Tomlin, do you want an explanation, or are you okay with the weird shit that is happening around you?
I'm not quite sure what to say. I don't know how I feel about you right now. And I don't know how to feel about
That's
the
fair.
situation right now. The
That's
things
fair.
I've seen since Comlin was taken from me is and are unsurmountable.
I understand that. If you just don't want to ignore it, and we find a place for you, and we bring you there, that's fine. If you want to know and understand why there's two wolves with antlers eating a bird with antlers...
I
that's
do.
not
I
a
just
good-
don't. I can't. You can see that in his he's angry and confused, in shock. he just seems flabbergasted, and he doesn't know what the fuck is happening. It's like his world has been turned upside down, which it pretty much has.
I get that reaction. If you just want to rest and we talk when you're a little bit more calm, that's fine too. It's not fair where you were thrown into.
I just need a moment to process.
Okay.
Kira,
I
make a
need
survival
moments to
check,
breathe.
please.
Okie dokie.
I just need a moment to process and then formulate my thoughts.
It's fine.
ABOT, you doing anything?
11.
Did you say something to me?
Yeah.
Okay, I took off my headset for literally a second. What did you say?
I said, are you doing anything?
Abot's looking at the wolves, sort of unsure of how he should proceed. But he's mainly staying close to Flint. And just, he's in everything is a danger mode right now. He's looking at the kids, making sure they're not getting too ramped up, right? He doesn't understand any of the conversation they had in Orcish, which is sort of like a new thing for him because usually he understands everything that people are saying. So he's just uncomfortable and staying very close to Flint.
By the way, Flint is gonna lay down and nap for an hour.
Okay. As Kira, you kind of begin to carve into the, kind of weasel your way underneath the opposite side of the bird to start kind of hacking through it to try to get to the heart. You start pulling out guts and gore. You get to a point where you kind of reach inside, you're feeling around, and you feel something. It's like, picture like the size of a fucking ostrich egg. Something that might be a heart. You've carved a few animals. This might be something. And as you kind of push your hand deeper to try to get on the other side of it, you feel that the back of your hand, trying to grab around this thing, the back of your hand hits something else that feels almost identical.
Do they feel squishy?
Yeah, it's an organ.
Okay, I'll take one of them out.
So you go to pull it, but it's taut in there. It's connected to some shit.
Okay, I have a dagger now. I'll use that to try to cut whatever's.
So you bring your arm out of the creature, kind of just from basically shoulder to hand. You've been that far deep inside this thing, and you're just covered in blood. You reach for your dagger, you kind of shove your hand back in there, and you begin to kind of feel around to figure out where this thing is connected, and you kind of just start carving away, kind of cutting this out. And after a few moments, you kind of pull it out, and it's a quite large heart.
Okay. I put my hand on the bird's head, and I say in Orcish, "Thank you for your life. Be with Freya." And then I offer the
Also
heart
suck
to
my dick.
Shalens.
So as you come and put the heart next to Shalens, who's just kind of gnawing on muscle tissue, it kind of looks up at you.
Keeper.
Yes.
Kind of looking at you, almost expectantly, or for almost like reassurance.
Eat up.
Slowly, frailly, kind of shifts its head and kind of almost crawls on the ground as Iris kind of lifts her head off to allow her to move, and kind of again slowly bites down into this heart. It's so big that again she takes out basically half of it with one bite, and then kind of goes in for the second half. Kind of slides it down her food hole.
Food hole.
I need you to roll 2d12.
Okay. Can you duplicate this for me, please? Thanks. 14.
Please add that to Shalenz's max health.
Hell yeah.
Doing anything else?
I want to reach back in the bird and see if I can take out the other thing that I felt like maybe it has 2 hearts.
So you reach back in. Roll me another survival check, please.
$23.
So you reach back in. You're able to kind of just muscle memory. You kind of find back where your hand was, and you kind of reach again, feeling around. You feel the different ventricles again. Taking your other knife, and you're able to cut it out. You get to a point where like you cut all these different ventricles and veins, and you go to pull, but there's still something else. But you're pretty much out of reach. If you're going to get this last thing, it's kind of obvious to you that you're going to have to kind of dip your head in, or lean in more, or somehow get more reach out of this, because it's or go around the other side and cut from the other side or something. Like you gotta come up. You can't quite reach what you're trying to do.
Can I just give it a big tug?
Yeah, roll a strength check.
Okay. $19.
So you kind of grab firm all around it and kind of a little bit dig your fingers in, and then pull as hard as you can. You kind of pull through the kind of the blood and the guts. You're kind of basically up to your chest because you've been leaning in so far, and your shoulders are soaked in blood. And as you pull this organ out, it is another heart.
Hell yeah. Okay, I do the same thing. I put my hand on the bird's head and say thank you for your life, be with Freya in Orcish, and then I offer the heart to Ivris.
Okay, roll another 2d12.
Oh, 14.
Okay, add that to Ivris's max health.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, I guess I'm done butchering the bird now. For now, anyway. Are the kids still climbing around on Ivris and Shalens?
One of them is. The majority of them have run back into the village and are running into their homes. And kind of running into their homes, running around. You hear in Orcish kids yelling, mother, father, different versions of that word that you had heard them call you. If you remember that word?
Yeah, Kalesh.
Different variations of that. And you see kids starting to come back together in the middle of town, looking very confused. They're probably about 20, 30 feet away from you. They're kind of looking around, looking at you, the wolves. You're covered in blood. Looking at the large orc tent. The town is empty. Except these kids.
I don't see Hadouken anywhere, or the other guy.
You don't see Hadouk. You don't see the mother. You saw her walk into that large tent.
Yeah, there was another guy too, though, that
Yeah,
we left alive.
You don't see him either.
I won't
Out of the
say
whole town. Okay. I'm gonna walk over to ABOT and Flint.
Flint is laying down, trying to take a little nap.
Okay, I will just talk to ABOT then.
Okay.
Hello, Kira.
Hi. So, the mother of the Hanu, apparently she used to be a keeper. I guess Shalens was her wolf. And she said that she knew that I was coming, and the Hanu will survive, and it's my destiny to lead them to war. So, I don't know what to make of that. What do you think?
I am just as unsure as you. Though it does make sense that she is a keeper. Why else would the wolf be at this specific camp?
I don't know. She was near the riverbend, I guess. That's what Hadouk said.
Did she explain why Shalens was in a cage and corrupted?
She said that Hadouk didn't respect her wishes. I guess she was just going to leave Shalens and the crystal until I showed up, and then I could keep her. But Hadouk didn't want to wait, and he wanted to go save the kids.
I see. Is Hadouk still here?
I'm not sure. Do you think we should go talk to the mother? Or
I
try
think
to?
we should leave as soon as we can. But if you would like to talk to the mother, then we can of course do that.
Well, we do need to check if our wagon and horses are here still, and they would be next to her tent.
Let's go.
Alright.
Okay, so you guys are leaving the wolves and Flint asleep as you walk over to the tent.
I'm going to tell Ivris to watch over Shalens and Flint while I'm gone for a few minutes.
Okay. And you make your way. You make your way across the village, walking past the children that are kind of gathering in the center of the town, kind of all very confused, looking at you as you walk past. And you make your way just to the edge of the tent. The two flaps kind of fold shut. You can't see inside. What are you doing?
Is the wagon next to the tent?
You look at the side of the tent, and you do see the wagon and the horses.
Oh, good.
Doesn't seem like anybody's touched anything. Also, doesn't seem like anybody fed your horses.
Oh, those bastards. Okay.
The horses do look incredibly lethargic. Only two of them are standing, and they are kind of just like nibbling on bits of grass. The others are kind of just laying down, very lethargic.
Okay, I'm gonna look around for like a water barrel or anything.
Roll an investigation check. You're just gonna start going into these houses?
I mean, yeah. What is my investigation? +3, 10.
So as you start to walk towards one of the closest home that isn't this large tent where the mother of the Hanu is, one of the orcish children screams in your direction as you, saying, "Where's my parents? Why are you going in my home?"
This is an orcish, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So do you stop or do you just keep walking in?
I stop and I say, I'm looking for water for my horses.
You can't go in there!
Okay. I walk towards the next house.
You start walking towards the next house. Two more of the kids saying, "What are you doing? Why are you here? Why haven't you left? Where's the Hanu?"
God, these kids are so fickle.
I mean, you are in their town
Yeah,
about
yeah.
to just start walking into their homes and they can't find their parents, so...
Well, they're not even in the homes. They're in the middle of town.
Yeah, because they don't know where everybody is. And they're all standing in the middle of town talking about it, trying to figure out where everybody is. Two of them begin to walk...
Literally just, they brought him here, and there's no, like, where's my family? And now you're entering their houses.
I don't know. Maybe the bird ate them. I guess I'm gonna go to the mother of the Hanu's tent.
So you go to walk to the next one, and then two more children start yelling at you. Now it's getting to the point all the children are starting to yell at you. They're all starting yelling. Two of them are crying. One of them's still holding the baby. As it starts getting louder, the baby starts crying. And you're going to turn around and walk back towards the mother of the Hanu?
I tell them, let's go talk to the mother.
To the kids?
Yeah.
They kind of look at you, and one of them says something along the lines of, Um, a Kaskala does not speak to the mother without permission.
Well, I have permission, so let's go.
And they kind of look at you and they cautiously follow you. So you get to the edge of the tent.
I yell into the flap, Mother, are you there?
After a few moments, the flap kind of folds aside. Roll a perception check, please. With, no, you have dark vision. Never mind.
11.
As she kind of folds the flap back, and you see her, and you kind of look past her for a moment. You see the tent. The inside of the tent is disshuffled, and on one of there's 2 cots on the right side, and it looks to be that there's somebody laying there, a body. The inside seems to be disshuffled.
Okay.
You're not sure if who that person is, but there is a form of someone laying on one of those cots. She kind of folds that flap back, and as you kind of just peek in, you see that. And she kind of looks at you. Keeper, have you come for more than Silence?
The children are upset. I think you should talk to them.
She kind of looks past you at the children. These are no longer my children. They are yours. You are the mother of the Hanu.
Kira just looks really confused.
ABOT looks even more confused.
I didn't birth those goddamn children.
She looks at the pick at your hip. And she takes a step closer to you and she puts a hand on your cheek. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh dear.
Reverse adoption. You're not their parent.
Oh no. 15?
Said 15.
Yes.
Okay. In an instant, your surroundings change. You're standing in this war zone. It seems to be a desert. Long tables out in front of you, as far as your eyes. They seem to go on forever. These long tables. There's fire all around you. You're standing on what seems to be a dock as you walk forward, and you see Ivris run by your left side, seemingly coming out of the ocean from below you. Shalens from your right. Another wolf bounding over you. And as you stand there, longbow drawn, stepping forward, you feel something push past your left arm from behind you, by your right, and your shoulders are kind of getting jerked one way, another way, as at least 9 or 10 teenager-aged orcs run past you screaming. They run in, and you see one of the orcs take a maul of some sort and bash into the chest of a man in Shalinstian armor, as the other orc screams and runs as it runs by you, taking an axe and coming down on another Shalinstian in this very intricate armor. As you walk forward, launching arrow after arrow in front of you. A spear comes flying and lands at your feet as more orcs rush past you. There's a sword that comes into view, and you feel the bow fly up, blocking it, as your left hand draws the war pick and comes into the side of the person that swung the sword in front of you. And as that happens, the scenery changes. And you see yourself on a ship, surrounded by dwarves and orcs. Flint standing beside you as you guys are at the head of some vessel, some ship. You turn back and you hear your own voice saying, "Make the Hanu proud." And going on to inspire as Flint chimes in, speaking of something of Dernkist and the taking back of a home. You see your hand shoot up, the war pick in your hand, and you see things shift again, and you're still in the same place, but now the orcs and the dwarves are doing this almost like this haka, where they're shouting, smacking their chest, smacking their legs, and as you walk by, basically nicking them on the chest one by one. And you shout, "The pick of Malak Hanu blesses you. We go to war." As the vision fades, and you find yourself standing there, the pick in your hand, drenched in sweat. And the woman takes her hand off your cheek and turns back into the tent. The pick of Malak Hanu is now in your inventory, and you now know the ritual of the blood, of the boiling blood.
Holy shit, okay.
Kira, title obtained. Commander of Hanu.
Mother of
Fuck,
Hanu.
I'm a mom now. I don't want to be a mom.
Kira, mother of Hanu, breaker of chains. The unbroken.
Releaser of wolves.
Bowborn.
Holy shit. Okay, she just looks at the pick in her hand, because she doesn't even remember, like, taking it off of her belt. And then she looks back at the children behind her. ABOT.
Yes.
So, she just told me that I'm the mother of the Hanu now. And these kids are my responsibility.
What?
She showed me visions of us going to war and being on a ship with Flint and dwarves and fighting Shalinstians with wolves. I guess I'm their leader now?
These are... Are we talking about the children?
Yeah, in the vision they were older. They were teenagers.
How long does it take for an orc to become an adult?
Hey Frank, how long does it take for an orc to
That's something.
become
That's something Kira should know. Look it up.
Well, I don't know if it's different between half orcs and orcs. She's half orc and orc.
I'll tell you in a second.
Something Kira should know.
Okay.
If someone curious to know, you should fucking tell her, Franklin. God damn it.
It's something Kira should know. I can look it
It's
up.
not
I'll look it up.
Sarah was
I'll look it
necessary
up
now.
for you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Okay.
Orcs
I'm
reach
sorry,
adulthood at
I'm-
age 12
Okay.
and live up to 50 years. Half orcs live the same spawn as a normal human.
Yep. And so, given these kids are around 5 or 7, this could be potentially anywhere 3 to 7 years, somewhere in there.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh my goddamn mom.
Because they looked like teenagers.
Did Kira relay this information to ABOT?
Yes.
I don't understand. She wants you to lead the children into battle, given that they will not age until 7 more years or so.
Yeah, she said it was my destiny to lead them into war. And I'm kind of inclined to believe her. Because she knew that we were coming. Supposedly. She could
Kira.
read the future in the flames.
I do not know what we will do with this many children, especially given that we just, killed every single one of their parents. Kara, I don't think you know what to do with these children either. I think this is one of
course
those
not.
destinies that you should probably just pass on.
we could
we
could
could
tell them that
just leave.
Corolla killed their family. The bird.
I do not understand why we need this baggage. Shouldn't we just leave? It is her village. It's her responsibility.
She said that they're not her responsibility anymore and she's dying. She was a keeper. She absorbed too much corruption. She's going to be dead. I don't know if there's anybody else here to even take care of these children. If we leave them here, they're just going to die. They will starve to death.
I do not know what we are going to do with this many children.
Me either! I thought maybe one day I'd have like 1 or 2 kids, and now I have fucking like 11 of them?
7.
Yes, this is quite problematic.
By the way, am I hearing any of this?
No, you're asleep, bro. You said you were going night-night.
Yeah, you said you
I'm
taking
going
a nap.
napping.
You said 1 hour.
We left you. We're
That's
like in the inside
That's
of the
fair.
village, and you're near the entrance.
Okay, it's another
I'm
Flint
glad
plot.
I'm gonna
It's
wake
another
up
Flint
to-
plot
we have
point.
11 kids
It's
now.
another Flint plot point that you're not gonna get.
Kira, this is... I'm at a loss for words. I do not know what we are going to do here. They are literal children. We cannot lead them into battle. And we can't take them with us because we killed their whole family.
They
They're
don't
not...
know that. All they know is that their families aren't here.
Yes, it would be a terrible idea to bring them with us, given that we killed their family.
Okay, but it's also a terrible idea to leave them here, because they will just die. It's one thing if we kill their families because we were in a battle. It's a completely other thing if we leave these children here to starve to death.
I'm going to have to consult Flint on this one.
As
I have
you
literally
guys,
no idea.
as you guys are standing here talking, you hear a low growl coming from Ivarus and Shalen's.
Uh-oh.
Flint, roll perception check, please. With advantage.
Scooped them up in their mouth.
Got 15 plus 6, 21.
As you hear this growling, and then as it turns into a bark, you you immediately wake up. You've been asleep for about 35 minutes. You see Ivarus, you kind of wake up to Ivarus standing literally over you, right? Shalen standing next to her. Both of them, hair standing up, very tense defensive stances, looking back at the entrance to the town.
I look towards it.
As you kind of roll over and look, you see this large green creature, about 10 feet, 12 feet tall, standing there, 2 heads and 4 arms, a spear in one hand, a shield in the other, the satchel hanging from another hand, and then a sword that's curved like a scimitar in the other. And
another freak. Oh god.
You see it standing there, and then you hear and then both the heads kind of turn to the dead bird, and one of the hands outstretches and the other hand outstretches the other way.
Can I fucking help you?
As one head looks at the other, and they kind of look at the 2 wolves, and you're kind of still underneath Ivarus. And you kind of, do you crawl out or do you stay under there?
I get up from under Ivarus.
And as you kind of, she feels you
that wasn't
moving.
enough for a short rest, right?
What was that?
Was that enough for a short rest?
It was not enough for a short rest.
I get up. Can I help you? Or are you gonna leave by yourself?
As you kind of start to stand up, and Ivarus kind of steps off to the side out from under you so you can stand up, and now you're standing in between both wolves. And as you're kind of standing there, both heads in unison yell something at you. Bulba!
Are we in
Right.
earshot by
Oh
now?
yeah, you guys now hear this, and so you would turn. The children would all kind of be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Tomlin would be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Did they say the fuck
Have I
word?
ever seen anything like this creature?
Is it speaking in giant? Sorry, lots of questions at once. but
Okay, 1, no, Flint, you've never seen something like this creature. 2, ABOT, yes, it is speaking in giant.
I know giant.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So what you've heard as you kind of began listening, cut off your conversation with Kira, is it saying, "The bird is dead. All of this hunting for nothing. What are we gonna do?" And then the other one's like, "I don't know. That was the longest walk I've ever had in my life. And what is this? What is this little man? What are these dogs?" And then in unison they yell, "We're gonna kill you, little man! Stop yelling!" And
Trying to speak giant.
it's just like bumbling. Like you just bumble at them.
I start looking at ABOT like, what the fuck?
This is out loud, not an awakened mind. He's saying,
Hello, can I help you?
As the creature turns to you, we're gonna jump back to Carrick real quick. Carrick, you've been kind of following this path, and you're at different points in time, you're seeing the footprints of this creature that you've been tracking as you're making way up and recognizing the path on your way back up to the Hanu. Based on the amount of time that you'd spent trying to figure out if this thing was like hiding out, trying to find you, it's got about a 30-minute lead on you. Is there anything you're going to be doing during that time of traveling, or are you just going to be following the trail and following the footprints of this thing, keeping wary eyes to make sure it's not going to jump out and ooga booga you?
Yeah, 100%. I'm keeping very watch.
Okay. Alright. So you're kind of just making your pace, being cautious, following. As long as you see the footprints, you kind of feel a little more safe because you know that it kept walking, but you're keeping a cautious eye out in front of you to make sure that it's not going to ooga booga and jump out at you. As this thing is standing there, Flint, ABOT comes up and begins to communicate in that same language, just like bumbling back at it. Both heads kind of turn to you in unison. One of them speaks up. He says, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." And ABOT, what you hear is walking stones, sticks and stones. I'm gonna break those stones.
Ba 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 ba. Why break stones? There's no need. I am friendly.
Kind of, one of the heads kind of shoots up, giving you kind of like the stink eye. The other one turns to that head and says, "Stone man friendly," and the rest of you hear "bo bo bo bo." The other one turns to it. "Bo, don't trust a stone man. Bo 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 bo."
ABOT's just gonna slowly start walking forward towards us.
As you do, the thing is kind of crouches down. All four arms come up in front of it, like it's getting in kind of like a defensive stance as you come up.
By the way, I have the power iron on my hands, and I am ready. As soon as this dude makes an aggressive move, I am casting him launch.
Okay. What did you say, ABOT?
ABOT said, why are you here? We killed the bird. Do you want anything?
We hunt the bird.
Ba 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 ba. No, we hunt the bird.
Boba koba couscous.
One of the hands, the hand with that scimitar, kind of bangs on the belly. And then we hunt the couscous, we eat the couscous, we deliver the couscous to the popo.
It was the popo.
Kind of, one of the eyes kind of like goes again, kind of like crazy, like, kind of waves the spear at you, like a no, and kind of gestures at the bird and says, "Bula bula bula ba ba bo bo." We take the bird back to the popo.
Ba 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 ba. No, you don't. This is our bird.
Ava, what's going on here?
He's
What do they
quickly
want?
communicating in awakened mind, like he's trying to have both conversations at once.
Okay.
This thing might not be friendly. I'm trying to tell it to fuck off.
He doesn't say that. He says back off. that was a little bit of soup, but he says back off.
I'm telling it to fuck off.
Roll a persuasion check, ABOT.
Wonderful. That's a...
Did that even roll?
I mean, I don't know if you saw it, Frank. I threw it.
It was a
hit
2.
Carrick, and fair enough. Yeah. It just immediately stops with a hit Carrick. Yeah, that would be a. Oh fuck. God damn it, D&D Beyond. It says my charisma's +5 because I tried to do that thing. Charisma's a +2. That's a 5. No, 4. 4.
Okay. It takes the hand with the spear and kind of bangs on its chest and says, "No, no, no, no. Lulu take Popo back Popo. Bo 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 bo." Lulu takes Bird back to Popo.
Could we trade you for the bird?
Looks at you.
Bula bula bula, baby bobo. What do you have to trade? What do you want to trade, Stone Man?
We need the bird's meat. You can take the rest. That's not really a trade, but
He is just going.
ba 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 ba.
Lolo take head and feet.
No. The other one speaks up. No. Head, feet, and antlers.
Ba 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 ba.
Give us some moment to commune. And then ABOT swivels his head back and then starts walking backwards towards the group.
What the hell is happening, Ava?
It speaks giant. I don't know if it speaks common, so I do not want to insult it. It wants the bird. It wants the bird's antlers, feet, and skull.
Why?
Can we try to give them head, feet, and one wing? instead of antlers. We kind of want the antlers
Why do we want the antlers?
to make stuff out of them.
So Carrick,
Okay.
at this point, you now are hearing this loud voice, kind of just speaking this fucking gibberish as you're coming around a bend. And as you're kind of walking through the forest, you see its back. And you see, as you come up you're kind of like creeping up behind it. You get to a point where you're probably like 20 feet. You see its back to you, and then beyond it, you see Ivris, another wolf that's gray, leaner than Ivris. You see ABOT and Flint and Kira kind of talking in a circle as this thing is standing there talking to itself. And then you see this giant dead bird laying right next to it. Behind that, 2 large crystals with 2 dead wolves in them. It's quite a sight. What are you doing?
Carrick's going to just sort of, he's gonna hang back because he sees that this is a situation that could easily escalate if he put himself into it, and so he's gonna stay back and kind of observe for a little bit and see how things play out.
Big brain.
Okay.
He's casting thaumaturgy.
Please no.
Was hoping so.
Who needs a BBEG when you've got thaumaturgy?
Alright, ABOT's going to swivel his head back around and then just walk
Ask
forward.
why he needs it. I'm so confused.
Oh, is he saying that just as ABOT starts walking?
Yeah.
Because ABOT will just respond.
He wants to give it to a Bobo. I don't know, it might be a religious figure. He's not giving very many details.
What the hell? I'm still like having the iron on my hands. Well, as soon as he moves.
Try to be non-aggressive. Maybe we can just tell it to leave.
Okay, good luck.
ABOT moves back forward.
So, I communed with them and made a deal. They want the head, they want the antlers, but they're willing to give me one of the
No! Popo need antlers.
No, Popo does not need antlers.
Popo need
We
antlers.
killed it. Nope. Popo does not need antlers. We need antlers. Find another bird. We're
No!
willing to give you a wing, feet. A wing and feet. This is great stuff.
And the head without the antlers.
Wing, feet, head, teeth, tail.
Okay. That seems
One
like
antler.
a good deal. No, 0 antlers.
Popo need
We already
antler.
made a
Popo
deal.
need antler. Popo need antler. The other one speaks up. You give antler or we eat you.
I am made of metal. It would be very difficult.
We've eaten worse. The rest of you are just saying, blah, 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 blah.
What have you eaten that is worse? I'm curious.
No, antlers.
If we give you antlers, will you have a conversation with us? I want to know about Popo.
Yes.
Roll persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. God damn it, why do you guys have to encourage rolling? This is bullshit.
One of them said yes. You're trying to persuade the other one.
Oh, thank God. That's a 22.
The other one says,
Good deal, good deal. Yes. We tell of Popo, you give antlers. Tail, feet, wing, head, teeth.
Oh, wait, no, that was not the agreement. And
Wait, he started to turn around and then, flipped his head back.
not the agreement. Antlers, head, tail, feet. Not
Good deal.
Abel turns around and quickly starts to move back before they say anything. And then he just relays to Flint the rest of the deal.
What? I don't care about the bird that much. It's fine. I'm good. I'm not sure if I'll survive another fight today.
Okay,
Alright,
let's
wonderful.
Give them the bits they want.
ABOT goes up to the bird and tries with all his might to start yanking off.
No, 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 no!
The thing just kind of like wobble-frobble stomps its way over. And it like kind of like just like pushes you out of the way. It takes the big scimitar. Two of the arms kind of drop what they're holding. Grabs the antler. Takes that big scimitar and just fucking whack, whack.
I tell Shalens to disappear.
You tell Shalens to disappear?
Yeah, because she's the closest. I don't want them to swing at her.
Okay.
Or like miss and hit her on accident because she's kind of fragile.
Okay.
So she just swings and decapitates.
So it basically just grabs this with this giant bolo knife, just starts hacking the fucking antler off. Grabs another one, same thing. Starts hacking the feet off, hacking the tail off. Are you guys talking to it or doing anything while it's doing this?
What the hell is this day? I swear to all. Okay, did you at least get the kids where they're supposed to be?
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Later, I want to have a conversation with this.
You can tell me what's gonna happen.
With the kids?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know they're okay, that's all.
Okay, yeah, they're fine. The mother of the Hanu said that I'm their mother now, and that I have to take them with us. And she showed me a vision of us on a boat, and you were there with
like
dwarves.
halfway through that, Flint says, okay, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm their mom now.
You're their what?
Their mom? Do you know that word, mother?
But like the estranged mother, like, away. Right?
I don't know. She said they're mine now because she's dying, and I have to take them into war because it's my destiny or something. And she showed me, like, weird visions. You were there on a boat, and there were dwarves there, and you said something about Dernkist or something, and taking back the homeland. I don't know. We gotta go fight some shit, and the children are also gonna be there.
Oh, good lord. Listen, I'm all up for having the chosen affray and Guibinu or whatever, and keeping you guys safe, but how are we gonna keep 11 kids safe?
I don't know, but if we leave them here, they're gonna starve to death.
Die, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I hate this day. This is the worst day.
You're not
We
wrong.
need to have a longer talk about this after the giant monster is left.
So as you guys are having that conversation, it's now cut off the feet, cut off the antlers. Now it's hacking away, trying to take the whole head. And it's just been like talking to itself and chuckling and giggling as it's doing this. And Popo is gonna be so pleased.
What all did you say it could take, ABOT?
Antlers, head, tail, feet.
Okay. Did it want anything else?
It discussed the wings, but we made an agreement, a very good deal, that it would not take the wings.
Okay.
I bet Popo is like it's that or some shit.
It's possible.
Well, what I'm getting at here is, did you tell them they could have the teeth?
I mean, if they have the head, they have the teeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I didn't explicitly say
It's just
they
cutting
could
off
have
the whole fucking head and taking the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
I mean, I don't want to stop them.
So right now,
You know,
the two
I
lower
kinda wish
arms,
the Carrick was
the two
here.
lower arms are tying the antlers to either side of its waist with like this fine string. And then and then as soon as that's done, it's taking the feet and putting them in that pouch it's been carrying around. And as soon as the head's cut off, it throws that into the pouch too. Then it goes around and starts hacking off the tail.
You know, I kind of wish Carrick was here, simply for the fact that he's such a breath air of normality in the midst of all his insanity.
Wasn't Carrick chosen explicitly by a god?
Yes, but at least he doesn't look like it.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
This
It
point,
means that he's normal and that there's not wolves with antlers and kids moving about. Simple as that.
at this point now, it's cut off the tail and it's kind of thrown it over its back. And it stands up straight, kind of like, because it's been hunched over for a couple minutes now. And it's just moving real quick, cutting all this up.
While they're talking to each other, do they ever address each other by name?
No.
Like, Okay.
I'm not sure if it has a concept of name.
And then as it kind of flaps this tail, this like wide feathered tail over its back, kind of stands up. It doesn't even acknowledge you. Starts to walk back the other way.
ABOT goes up to it and goes, ba 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 ba.
So let's have a conversation.
He's like, just like running up beside him.
And as it's kind of like hurriedly walking, no time. Go back to Popo. Bring
No,
gifts.
untrue. That was not the agreement. You need to have a
Shh,
conversation.
no, Stone Man, we go.
No, wrong, false. You are coming with us and we are going to have a talk. You want more birds? Yes. We could probably make a deal.
Make a persuasion check. Who's in a wind tunnel?
It's not.
It's Raypaw.
It's
but the echo.
my thing.
That's a 15.
15.
Yep.
More birds. The other one says, no time for more birds. Go back, Popo.
You will get more antlers, potentially, if we figure out this arrangement.
More antlers. Good deal. Good deal.
Wonderful.
He's like waiting for it to stop moving.
It kind of stop and he's like continuing to walk as he's saying good deal, and then he kind of stops and turns to you and says,
Where are more antlers?
We have to have a conversation first. I do not know
Talk, Stone Man, talk.
Sit down.
No, talk.
That is not part of the deal. You
No,
have to sit down.
no. Talk, no sit, talk.
Do you not want to have more antlers?
More antlers, talk. No more
Yeah.
sit, no antlers.
The antlers are attracted to the crystals that we are seeking out. We tell you where they are, you get more antlers.
Crystals.
they're kind of looking at each other, just saying crystals back and
See,
forth.
you know nothing about the crystals. I
Crystals.
do. Let's talk. Who is Popo?
Repus, you're in a wind tunnel again.
Sorry.
Popo is big man. Popo.
What is Big Man?
Popo makes shinies. Popo gives shinies.
What are shinies? Where is Popo?
South. Popo is south. We follow bird north. We get antlers, we bring back to Popo. Popo gives shinies. We go to cave. Dwarf cave. We get more shinies.
Dwarf Cave. Where's Dwarf Cave?
South. No, you tell too much. Dwarf cave is south.
What are your names?
No. We
No,
give
you don't have
talk.
names?
We give talk, not names, not sit. We give
What
talk.
kind of giants do not have names?
The other one looks at the other one. Kind of look.
No giants here. Popo giant. We troll.
Oh, you troll. I've never seen a troll before. You look very powerful.
Kind of pops his chest out.
Why does Bobo want antlers? Because they're cool looking?
Pop- Popo make thing appear from the sky.
Describe thing.
I don't know. I've never seen thing. He hasn't made it appear from sky yet.
Do you know what it is?
No. I just get antlers.
Interesting.
And then I get shinies. Popo make thing appear from sky. I go to dwarf cave, get more shinies. You talk too much. No more. I go get more shinies.
Do the dwarf caves want antlers?
Dwarf cave no want antlers. Popo want antlers. I bring
I'm gonna lose my shit.
I bring antlers to Popo. Popo give me shinies. I go get more shinies from dwarf cave.
That is a very smart deal. I'm glad that you have worked that out. Where is the dwarf cave?
South.
How far south? Do you have a landmark?
South till snow.
South till snow.
Yes.
How do you know what direction to move south? Straight south?
South.
That's very useful. Thank you.
ABOT just starts walking back to the party.
Antlers, and they continue to walk. Carrick, as you're standing there, this thing walks right past you. One of them goes blah 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 blah, blah as it walks past you. Doesn't even say anything, just keeps on fucking going.
Okay.
So, what did you learn?
I did not learn as much as I wanted to. They apparently are interacting with a dwarf cave in the region. They're also serving a giant that can make things appear from the sky. Alternatively, they're serving a lying giant that wants antlers.
Okay, let's find Carrick and then we'll decide what the fuck we do next.
Yes, that was
We just need to go down the mountain.
Okay.
Oh.
So these kids,
Oh, right, about that. Kira, do you think that you could teach them how to hunt and they self-sustain themselves somewhere?
I mean, maybe, but wasn't that Vice Admiral dude, wasn't he coming to the encampment to take Tomlin away? He's gonna see
Yeah,
all
he
those dead
was.
people and realize the kids are gone, and then want
Oh.
to come get them again.
Oh yes, we'll have them move the kids. They could not hunt from here. But we can't take the kids with us. Right? Right, we agree about that.
I don't know. I think we're going to have to take them with us.
Kira, I can't figure out how we would do that.
I don't know, I have a lot of food.
Can you hunt for the amount of people that are gonna be moving?
Well, I have a lot of rations from the encampment that we just ravaged.
Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get on a boat. We're gonna go back to Treston.
Carnegie?
Carnegie, yeah, sorry. We're gonna go back to Carnegie. We're gonna take your kids to your village. And then we're gonna leave them there.
I guess that could work.
Also, something's playing. I can hear something.
What is that sound?
What sound?
No, it's fucking Carrick.
As
Thaumaturge.
Carrick walks in.
Oh look, it's Carrick! Hey, Carrick!
The normal one. No, hello.
Oh, Garrett.
What is that fucking wind tunnel, Repus?
It's someone, vacuuming.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Don't worry about keeping your house clean during D&D. Fuck.
Yeah, my dad came in. He's like, "When are you going to the grocery store?" Like, I didn't have plans to go to the grocery store.
Carrick, there is so much shit that we have to tell you.
Yeah, not much of an update on my end. For a while, I followed that. Doubt.
Is Damien with you?
Nope. Damien, Valerian.
Did he say when he would be back? We need to be moving soon.
Actually, Damien seemed a little ambivalent about potentially seeing us. So maybe there was something translation, I don't know. But I wouldn't necessarily count on Damien rejoining with us anytime soon. Unless we make a concerted effort.
Maybe tomorrow morning we send him a sending.
Yeah, to be fair, they kind of all ran out very quickly.
I explain what happened with fucking not Shayla. What's his name?
Nathaniel?
No, the one that was dying.
Sarly.
Sarly, yeah. I don't know why I said. I explained what was happening with him and how, you know, it kind of had to be expeditious. They kind of just like fucking bolted.
I see. Then yeah, tomorrow morning we send a sending. We get to the situation point, and we figure out what to do. On our end,
Wait,
I
time out.
almost
Is
died
somebody in a
finding a bird.
bathtub?
I don't know.
I've been feeling really bad. I haven't been able to keep anything down. I've been throwing up
I'm sorry, Captain. I'm so sorry.
I've been throwing up all day.
I thought you were peeing.
I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
He's in
I
a
finally feel a
fucking
little bit
bathtub.
better. I think that was maybe my last throw up. We'll see.
Oh my god.
You should
Wait.
be resting, man.
Wait,
I'm
did you
sorry.
wait? Was that you throwing up?
No, it was
that
happening
the
while he was
bathtub
talking.
draining.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
I'm so sorry, man.
Another bath later.
Is that the first
No, you don't have to get out of the bathtub.
I'm crying.
Oh no, I feel like I'm pruning.
What is happening?
This is the very first time I've played D&D with someone in the bathtub.
Oh my god.
It was always
Alright.
the first.
I'm sorry, I interrupted that. I heard the distinct sound of a bathtub splash.
Alright, what were we talking about? Right, fucking spells and sending tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. In our end, I almost died fighting that bird.
We kicked its ass though.
ABOT got me alive. The wolves are freed. Apparently Kira's mother now of 11 kids. Don't ask. And there's a big giant who took the bird to bring to the Popo, who's apparently a giant who can make things appear out of the sky, and he's under the Gin Deep caves. That's the recap for the next session.
Granted, the giant was kind of separate towards everything. We didn't know about it until just now.
Oh. Interesting.
Yes.
Carrick, help me. What are we gonna do?
Hang on. Let me get in Discord on my computer.
Okay, this is better. Okay. Okay, so first things first. Do we have enough food for everyone? Because it sounds like there's a lot of people.
I have a lot of food that I took from the Schlimstein encampment.
Okay, I could also just make some food. I don't know, is that food gonna spoil anytime soon, Kira?
They're military rations, so probably not. I mean, it'd be like, Frank, it'd be like jerky and bread, right?
Yep. And some dried fruit.
Yeah, so it's fine for a good while.
Mm-hmm. Couple. So, what's the plan? Isn't it nighttime?
It is nighttime.
Yes.
Right. So we should probably get some rest and figure this shit out in the morning, maybe.
Maybe we should address the kids too, since apparently they have a new mom.
Well, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I don't know what to tell them. Also, Carrick, do you have enough magic left in you to give the horses some water? Because nobody's given them water the entire time we've been gone, and they look like they're about to die.
You've been gone for what? 3 days?
Yeah.
Since the last time you were with the Hanu? Yeah.
We have 4 horses, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that barrel, Brother Flint, to put the water into.
Pick it up, dump all the weapons on the ground. Put it down on the ground again.
Okay. Well, I'll wait, because the horses are right next to the kids, and I don't want to get attacked by them. My approach to calm them down last time didn't really work for some reason. I don't know why. It almost seems like there's something. It almost seems like there's something contriving to foil my attempts. Anyway.
Carrick, you pretended to be a zombie to a bunch of kids that just saw a battle happen right in front of you.
To me, that seems perfectly reasonable.
You're crazy.
Maybe you should rethink that.
Things have changed since Gil died.
Okay, game plan.
That actually
What
wasn't.
am I-
That was Carrick attempting to be kind of like somber and reflective.
Oh.
That's okay. I mean, just for reference, like that wasn't like a jest. That was like a reflection. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I can make food and water for the horses. There'll be enough left for. Well, if they all get fed, there'll be enough left for maybe like a few people to eat. Maybe like 3 people or 2 people.
Let's give the kids some food. Can you make milk? Because there's like a literal baby, and I don't know what to do with this baby.
I don't think I can make milk unless we have like dairy. If you have dairy, I can make milk.
Well, how does your spell work? Your food spell? Food and water.
Oh, I make food that is bland but nourishing.
Oh. Okay,
I
maybe
mean-
I can like mash up some fruit or something and give it to the kid.
Sure.
I don't know how babies work, so
I
that's
mean,
okay, but what am I gonna tell these kids?
I think you tell them exactly what happened. Was that the mother of the Hanu has made you the mother of the Hanu. The mother is gone, long live the mother.
However, they are all wondering where their families are because they are not here. So,
Say that their parents unfortunately perished in battle against a stalwart and valiant foe.
I feel so bad about that.
yeah,
well,
that's some shit.
No, okay. I don't want to lie to them, but I think telling them all together is
We'll kill
maybe
them.
not the best idea.
Yeah, that's the problem. If we tell them the truth, we'll just kill them right there because they're not gonna follow. They're not gonna have a way to eat, and the Schlintons are fucking coming again.
Well, what I'm saying is we can tell them, but maybe one at a time, you know? So this way, they don't get all angry together and mob and shit like that. Also,
This is
I
the
mean,
worst.
if you remind them of the fact that the mother of the Hanu has effectively condoned the murder of the adult Hanu by making you the mother of the Hanu, you know, they're kids, so they probably won't really understand that.
You know who we need to have in this conversation? Tomlin, are you better now?
I don't. Okay.
Are you trying to get Tomlin's attention? Because he's hanging out with
Yeah.
the kids per. He's like fucking glorified nanny. So
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah,
me
but
now.
I'm like, Tomlin, can you come here, please?
he kind of tells the kid. They're kind of forming a little bit of a bond now. And he kind of tells them to hold tight. Kind of just putting a hand because he can't fucking communicate with them. Walks over to you.
So, Tomlin, without having to explain everything, the mother of the Hanu has essentially forsaken all the kids and made Kira
Forsaken the
their
kids.
leader.
Forsaken the children that you killed the parents of.
Yes.
She
Okay.
said that I'm their mother now, and that I should take
Oh.
care of them. And she's dying.
All right.
Yeah. We don't really know what
He's just
to
looking
do
at you
here.
very skeptically right now.
We do not know what to do with the children. It would be
Akira?
unfair of us to lie to them.
He's
but
looking
at
at
the same
Kira.
time, the truth would mean that they do not come with us, and then they do not eat, and then they starve.
And the Shalinsons are coming again.
Well,
My suggestion
I'm sorry.
is to take all of them up to the mountains, or at least drop them off somewhere random in the middle of the forest. Teach them how to hunt, and they will be fine.
No.
No.
That's a recipe for disaster 2.0. I still think that taking them to Kira's village is the best way. I just don't know how to address them.
where is Kira's village?
It is on Carnegie.
On Carnig. So you hold on. You are going to find a ship and make your way, 5-8 days of sailing to Carnig with these children. And then where in Carnig is this village?
On the opposite end.
And then you are going to travel across the continent. Okay. Yeah.
That is why I'm against.
Do you have any constructive criticism, or are you just gonna shit on the plan?
Well, if everyone I knew wasn't dead.
Hello.
You okay, Talon?
Look at me. I'm corporeal. I think we need to take a step back. Tomlin, you clearly have an issue with how things went down.
What about
I think we
this?
need to talk about that.
What about this? I'll make my way back to Shalinsta. I'll smuggle the children in through the sewers. I'll keep them in the city until you can come up with a better plan or find a way back to Carnig.
That sounds pretty good to me.
That seems dangerous. How are you going to care for and keep 11 children?
7.
I don't know.
I have a lot of food I can give you.
That's a start,
The
I
thing
guess.
the thing about the ship is that we could sail to the north of Carnig and drop them off at the village.
How are you
going
to make it past the fleets? How are you going to make it past the fleets?
Fucking good point. That's right. Fuck.
Don't we have safe passage?
How did you make it here?
Subterfuge and a lot of luck.
Through a pirate, sort of.
Through a pirate.
I was under the impression.
Where's that pirate now?
We
Who knows?
let him go. I don't know. He's somewhere.
So you took a boat to this place and then you let him go?
Well, we had passage back through other means.
Okay, what means?
Secret spies from the market.
Secret spies.
I was under the impression that we were going to use the change length in that code to get us back to Carnegie.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
Changelings and a code? What?
Listen, this goes way deeper than
Oh
you
my-
understand, Tomlin.
He's like,
Our
he's just
lives are
rubbing
a
his
mess,
head.
my friend.
This was not necessarily our choice, Domlin. We were forced to come here.
Yeah, literally, I ran
Gun
away.
to our head.
So you were forced to come here and kill the Hanu?
Oh, alright. Listen, let's...
No, that's a genuine question. I don't understand.
No, we were forced
Nope.
to come here to work out some sort of military plan against the Shalinstian government. We were supposed to find out the nature of certain crystals, which we did, and then we sent back our other team to confirm with Cyril. But given that Cyril was the one that forced us to come here under the threat of death, we kind of dislike him.
Wait,
and aren't necessarily working under
Cyril, and then in quotes, King of the Market, Cyril?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
he
glad you know
doing?
him.
What's he doing with Kezin crystals?
He most likely thinks that the Shalinstians are bad and needs to understand how they're using them. Or he's
So-
trying to weaponize them.
Can I just make sure I understand this, please?
Yes.
So you were sent to Treston by Cyril to understand the Kezin crystals.
That's right.
You found Tomlin, me, and Comlin,
By accident.
and you were not. So when Comlin gave you the map, telling us where our encampment was, are you insinuating that he gave that map to the wrong people?
I don't know. We saved a
From
bunch
what I-
of
from what-
small ones. We just broke you out of prison. You
No.
tell us.
That map was
No,
to go
from
to.
what I understand,
Wait,
That-
it was supposed to
you
go to
gave that
specific
to us
people?
because
That-
you confused Gil for a slave.
There was supposed to be a group, not unlike yourself, coming to us with a few slaves to be brought to the encampment.
Oh, then
Well-
yes, you gave it to the wrong people.
Yeah, you gave it to the wrong person. Listen, Tomlin, this goes worse. Like, the more we're gonna talk, the worse it's gonna get. We haven't even gotten to the wolves, or to the demon that you saw, the demon person that you saw walking
I
around,
did
or
see
the
that.
Eularians.
I did see a demon.
Like,
I saw a man
keeps
turn
getting
into
worse.
a demon in front of my face. I saw a man with the tail of a demon and the horns of a demon and the skin of a demon. I'm currently looking at 2 gigantic wolves with antlers.
I know. Like, it just keeps getting worse.
They hate most people too, so that's pretty bad.
Listen, we haven't even talked about hypnotic frogs.
Hypnotic frogs.
Listen,
Zombies.
I don't want to be with you anymore.
I understand.
Breaking up with us?
I want to go back to Shalista.
Listen,
And I will find
understand.
my way somewhere else, far from any of you.
And fully understandable.
Can
So-
I have a moment? Tomlin, what do you want
I want
in of us?
I want my family back. I want my friends back. I want to be very far away from any of you.
The ones that are dead? That was a question, Tomlin.
Yes, the ones that are dead.
When you get far away from us, what is it that you want then?
To
Are
forget you.
going to continue to work against Shalista?
I'm going to continue to aid who I can. I'm going to continue to make maps. That is what I do.
Aid who you can. What do you mean by that? Alleviating the Shalistians?
No.
Then who are you aiding, Tomlin?
He's kind of looking at you like perplexed. Who I've
Tomlin.
aided for the past 25 years of my life. Those less fortunate, those who came under the oppression of Carlinth. That's what I've done. That's what I will continue to do, but I do not want to do it with you.
That is perfectly understandable. If we will continue to work
Things
against
were
Shalista,
simple. We took 2 or 3 people and escorted them to the jungles. Now I'm beyond the mountains where I never thought I would be.
Yeah, but we had nothing to do with that. We just broke you out. I'm
You-
exactly
how am
telling you
I
that
supposed
things
to
are
know
weird.
that? I don't trust any of you. I don't. For all I know, the reason we were found was because you came to the encampment in the first place.
Or maybe it's because you guys were fucking singing after you knew an attack was happening. Listen,
And we've
Tom,
done it before. But now
Yes,
this
and
is the
glad
time.
you were lucky
This is the
before.
time when you arrive
Yes,
and you
people
start
had nothing
you
to
start a
do
fight
where
with
you
the
went.
people within the community.
Tomlin, you're free to leave. I've told you before, I will escort you to where you need to go.
And he just picks up
Or I
a
will
bag.
just leave
He
you.
picks up the bag that's been on, and he just starts walking past you. He brushes past you, starts walking towards the edge of the town and towards the path.
Well, I guess he's not taking the kids then.
You're probably gonna die if you go by yourself, but good luck.
He kind of turns back at you, and he says, "I'll probably die faster with you."
Oh, shut it, drama queen.
I mean, you're alive because we...
Yes,
or else
and
we
I am
couldn't-
incredibly grateful that you came and you got me out of that place. And I am so grateful, and these children are so lucky to have you. However, I can't help but feel that the reason that I was there in the first place was because of you.
That is fully unfounded.
Up until now, giant wolves with antlers and men turning into demons, and demons in general were unfounded.
Yeah, but fucking Chalinsians weren't.
Somebody roll an
The
insight
people
check. Or all of you, I really don't care.
My passive insight is 17.
Yeah?
16.
Did anybody
I
roll
rolled an
above
18.
a 12?
I got a 16.
I got a 25.
Okay. It's very clear Tomlin is having a mental fucking breakdown.
This is why I need calm emotions.
Listen, Tallman, you're gonna die if you keep walking. I know that you're going through the worst fucking time of your life right now. But if you stop, relax, sit down, we will escort you to Shillings. You'll never have to see us again. I legitimately like you. I liked Comlin. We tried our best. And then when we heard what happened, we were devastated and came to you. And we will take you to Shillings and you'll never see us again. You'll live the rest of your life how you wish to live. But if you go now, I mean, you saw what happened today. The bird, the big thing, the wolves. It's not safe right now. Stop walking, sleep, and we'll walk you to Shillings. Okay?
You kind of see his head drop and he's looking at the ground. You see that his grip on that pouch kind of loosens and it falls to the ground. And he kind of just like collapses and sits on the ground and puts his hands in his head in his hands.
This probably
Can I
isn't
walk
the
over
best
and put?
time.
Can I walk over and put my hand on his shoulder and just give him a little of that good guidance feel?
Yeah,
A little
go for it.
divine energy, a little warmth.
Go for it.
How common are
I do that.
Goliaths in Tristan?
Fairly common.
Oh, good. Okay.
You gonna tell him he'll find a nice Goliath girl?
No, I was going to say that Vice Admiral Radford Colt was coming to take a Goliath from the encampment, and I just didn't know if they were common. So if he waltzes into Shalinsta, like there he is, get him.
Oh,
But
I understand.
if they're
yeah.
common, then it's fine.
Yeah, unless he knows who this one is.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
You can just live in the sewers. It's fine.
Find a way to smuggle. We'll discover.
Right. So what are you guys doing?
My fucking lungs still hurts.
I'm sorry, bud.
I hate this. This is the worst day. Anyway,
We still don't know what to tell the fucking children.
what to tell the kids? Listen. Let's tell them that very bad things happen here. Let's not give them all the details. They're kids. Just tell them that very, very bad things happen here, just like bad things happen to them. And then for now, you're the mother of the Hanu, made by the other mother, and that they have to follow. And that we will teach them to fight, and we'll teach them to hunt, and we'll figure something out. Like, the whole point of this is none of us know jack shit of what we're doing. And
Tragic the Gathering.
And I feel like it's gonna have to continue. Just tell them that we'll do our best, that we'll teach them to fight, to hunt, they'll live with us until we can find them a better home, and then we'll figure shit out. There's no other way to go about this.
I have a question real quick, Lady Kira.
Mhm.
You're half orc.
Yeah.
What is the orcish mentality on like vengeance and family death and stuff like that?
Well, they're probably gonna want revenge. I mean, even while we were getting them out of the encampment, they wanted to go and fight. That's what they were doing when they mobbed. They wanted to go fight. And then you
Right.
showed up pretending to be a zombie, and they were like, let's get him.
Yeah, it worked out great. Here's the thing, right? Like, if they have like a huge fixation on avenging the death of their family, and sort of proving themselves and whatever, they at some point or another they're gonna find out whether we want to or not. Now, we can not tell them right now, but we need to have a plan to tell them so that we can head this thing off ahead of time and not wake up to find knives at our throats.
Listen. Yeah, that's...
Because let's be honest, we're not the most discreet people.
None of us... Yeah, I don't think none of us are in the mental capacity to even figure that out.
Like, I mean, I've just sort of been hiking for the last few hours. I'm pretty calm right now. It's very serene out there.
Well, we had to kill this giant fucking bird, and then this random other dude shows up saying he wants the bird. I get told I'm a mom now.
That's right. I was gonna come here because of that. Looks like you guys did a good job.
As the bird's laying there, no fucking head, no feet, no tail, just a body and wings.
It's really impressive.
You're right. If you want to re-summon excellence and ever eat the rest of the bird, we could probably do that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I also wanted to take a bunch of its feathers for arrows. That can be later, I guess. I'd summon Shillens.
Okay.
In motion for her to go eat.
Okay, and she does.
We'll tell the kids once we find a better way for them.
Yeah, she looks crusty.
She's still frail and very lean, and moving slowly, but there seems to be a little more energy there, a little more pep in her step, if you will.
Cool. Sorry, Ray-Bus.
Yeah, we'll tell the kids when we find a place for them. If they still want to take revenge and do the stupid shit that is trying to go against us, then they've made their choice there. We made sure that they lived and we find them a place. If that's their choice then that's their choice then. But for now, let's just make sure that these kids don't fucking die.
Oh, by the way, so, since, recent developments, we should still continue to find, armor and weapons and shit like that. I potentially have the ability to raise one of us from the dead, but I'll need 300 gold worth of diamonds. I can make diamonds out of random stuff, but I need the raw material to do that.
Okay.
Might be a good idea for us to either keep an eye out for diamonds or just raw materials so that I can make diamonds.
Oh, there's one.
Just in case one of us dies.
Okay.
Carrick, where did you learn this?
I point to the symbol on my shield.
Raw materials is in carbon?
No. The way you've seen me make gold, I mean, I've made other stuff. I've made swords, I've made, other stuff.
Oh, so if you have just materials like armor or just coins, you can turn it into diamonds?
I'm, pretty certain.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I'm so confused. Did Goivin tell you this recipe directly? Was it something you innately... Oh god, wait. Was it something you innately know? Or is it in the Goivin Cleric's handbook? I'm very confused.
Well, I mean, you also have a connection with your god. I mean, you tell me, how do you feel like the knowledge to perform the powers that you can are communicated?
Fair enough. I am not told much.
So at this point, it's about the equivalent of 3 o'clock in the morning. Are you guys gonna just hang out and keep chatting, or are you taking a long rest, or are you making moves?
Are the kids still riled up?
And then go to sleep?
The kids are standing there confused. Tomlin gets up and walks back over to them, kind of keeping them entertained. Some of them are starting to fall asleep. The baby's asleep. The mother of the Hanu has not come back out of, or I guess the ex-mother of the Hanu has not come back out of the tent. Yeah.
We'll talk in the morning. Let's just send everyone to their bed.
We can
Okay,
feed the horses.
Yes, please feed the horses so they don't die.
Done.
So yeah, so I walk over to the horses and I burn 3rd level spell slot for create food and water. So the spell, where'd it go? I think it says it can feed 5 steeds. It might be 5 or 4. It feeds 5 steeds. So it's enough food to sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. And also
you're good.
30 gallons of water.
So you're good.
Yeah, so there's a little left over, so...
So you feed the horses and the kids. Done.
Okay, there you go. I have another 3rd level spell slot. I mean, I can just... we can all just eat too.
Listen, just remember to prepare tongues for tomorrow. We're gonna
Prepare what?
The spell where you get to talk to people.
Oh, yeah, no, that's always in my back pocket.
Good.
Kira.
Because we're gonna need to talk to the
Hi.
kids tomorrow.
Could you tell the kids just to sleep and that you will explain it in the morning?
I can try. They might start yelling, but yeah, I'll go try. Just like awkwardly walks over to the kids.
Secure, as you kind of awkwardly walk over to the kids, the majority of them are asleep except 2, and they're kind of sitting there whispering to each other.
I kneel down next to them. Can I hear what they're saying?
They stop as you come into view.
Okay, I put my hands on their head and like ruffle their hair, and I say, "Go to sleep. We'll talk in the morning."
They kind of
Do
look
they
up
say
at you. They kind of look up at you. They don't respond, and they kind of confused look, almost angry look. Maybe even a little bit scared. And they kind of just lay down.
Guess who's preparing calm emotions tomorrow?
Guess
That's
who's
probably
preparing
a good
comprehend languages tomorrow?
Okay.
Guess who's
Okay.
preparing to get fucking traumatized tomorrow?
So yeah, I'll burn my other 3rd level spell slot and create more food and water. So the barrel that Flint gave me for the water, presumably the horses drank a shit ton of it, so that should be basically filled up.
Okay.
And then there's just 15 persons worth of food available. So Carrick eats some, and then obviously, whoever else wants to eat some can eat some.
Okay.
That's spoiled after 24 hours, so I would recommend we eat that before we eat the rations.
So everybody that wants to eats, and so if you guys taking a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I'd like
Yep.
to just do something. If
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, what are you doing?
After people start going to sleep, Flint is just gonna walk to the gate of the village, make a little mount on the ground, and get on his knees, put his palms together. He's gonna say, "Freya, I know I do not dwell in your domain, but your keeper has not suffered harm. I will keep it so and get her to where it's needed. I will falter, for I am mortal, but I won't give in. Your will be done." Also, children, I don't understand. I'm really confused. Gravina, closer I am to you, to the huntress, but never have I prayed to you before I met your chosen. He has never been harmed, and I will keep it so while I live. I'll falter, for I am mortal, but I won't give in. Your will be done. Savras, I have no idea if you can hear me. The Lord of your creation saved my life. For it I thank you, and I will keep him forever alive. I will falter, for I am mortal, but I won't give in. Your will be done. Claggothin Silverbeard, I have taken your teachings and given you glory. A camp destroyed, its soldiers broken in battle. Strategy worthy of you, for no losses were had, and more glory will be had with your blessing. I will falter, for I am mortal, but I won't give in. Your will be done. More than glory to your race, to you and the race you made. I thank you for my life that you spared this day. I know something lurks in my body. Give me the strength to surpass it, and keep walking the path you have put me. And I promise you the chains of your people to be used to strangle to those who made them. I'll falter for I am mortal, but I won't give in. Your will be done. After that, he was gonna put the mound back to normal dust, go back and sleep.
Okay. So you make your way back and you're able to rest up, get your long rest. Anybody else doing anything before they fall asleep? Okay. With that, you all... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, ABOT's just keeping watch. Halfway through the night, he notices that in all the pandemonium, he forgot to take off the cloth that wrapped around his finger. It's all covered in Flint's like blood, gunk, and just nasty shit. So he like peels it off and then casts prestidigitation to clean it. Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay.
As Carrick lays down to sleep, he's going to, firstly, he's actually going to, use his 4th level spell slot and cast Spirit Guardians, around himself. So, Spirit Guardians last for 8 hours. You can designate any number of creatures you see to be unaffected by it. So I would say all of our allies, the kids, the wolves,
Yep.
you know, obviously the party, etc. I would say, so if you're good or neutral, their spectral form appears angelic or fey. Can it be the same people?
Yes.
From my, okay. So you see it's Smith. It is a half-elvish woman, with, I forgot the 2 things. I forgot the weapons, but
Yeah, I
half-elvish
remember the
woman
weapons.
and a dwarven woman.
Yeah.
Secondly, Carrick will pray to Goibnu. Not really pray, but more just like, so turns out you can use the golems as weapons. I agreed that I would investigate that, and I am. I don't know the specifics yet, but I'm a man of my word. He waits for about 5 seconds. Pleasant dreams. Just goes to sleep.
Okay. Doesn't Spirit Guardians need concentration?
Oh, I apologize, Spirit Guardians. Yep. I did confuse it. Never mind. So that thing that I did didn't happen. Never mind.
Okay.
Guardian of Faith is a 4th level spell and lasts for 8 hours. if that's
Yeah,
what
I
you're
didn't
looking
prepare it. I was thinking about preparing it, and I thought I did. So never mind.
Okay. So you guys all nod off, take a long rest, and that's where we're going to end today's session. So what I'm going to ask of you as a group is come up with what you are going to be doing over the next 6 days. And we will either have another session before next week's session, or we will just...
Hello?
Can anybody hear me?
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
he deafened himself.
He's touching himself.
Oh.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah?
Hello?
What an idiot.
I PM'd him.
Sorry, I'm using this on my
Fuck it.
phone.
Here.
I'm doing this on my phone.